and, of course, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com with the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tausch. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Tough morning.
Uh-oh.
Pickleball.
Oh,
yeah, I had a good lead. We blew it.
I thought you were retired. I thought you were on, IR.
No, I took a long break. We had our trip and then, took a break. And I'm actually starting to enjoy kind of sleeping in. So, but
Till
I'm a morning cat. Well, till 5.
Your idea of sleeping in. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm still a morning cat, and it's still really good for me to get up, move around. I think it just makes my day better.
Sure.
So I'm trying to, but I ain't going to lie to you. This last 6 months, my left knee, which is the knee that caused me a ton of consternation over my NFL career, I really felt like, I weathered this storm pretty doggone good.
Uh-oh.
Mid-40s, still able to, function at a decent level. Yeah, she's not in a great spot.
So, without violating HIPAA, although
and the boys, and the
they're
fellas
taking advantage.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and I think it's
they got a good scouting report.
I think it's IPT that's what they're doing, but I don't blame them. I do the same thing when Vogues pulls a calf, which he does frequently. I hit lobs over his head.
Vogues, Vogues Antetokounmpo? Is it that severe? I don't want to, I don't want to put your knee business out on the street, and I know you're a big proponent of HIPAA. It's very protective of information.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Can you explain? We know you had ACL tears. We know you played through a lot. What are we talking knee replacement time? Is it bone on bone, like bone on bone brother? What is it?
Well, bone on bone brother is bounced back. He's fresh. I don't know exactly what he's all done, but he's moving around as good as I've seen him.
Wow.
And I think we all, obviously dropping weight would be huge. That's the number one thing. I need to do that. But grand scheme, I've been very fortunate. We do all kinds of hiking, and we do all these great trips that we like being
national
outdoors.
Parks.
And yeah, and the first time in Italy, it was a battle. I was feeling it a lot more. So there's just there you go. That's how I felt for
those of you listening on the radio.
I just have
Italy thumbs downing.
I have a ton of arthritis because I went and got it looked at, and it's not something structural. It's not like I retore my MCL or anything else.
Okay.
It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is.
How can we help you?
So now I have to come to grips that I don't want to get beat. Do I have to go down another tier?
Do you have friends in the lower tier? Relegation?
I don't play with the A-leaguers anymore. The 4-5 cats. I'm a 4-0, and obviously with my movement not quite what it once was, or even was about 6 months ago. I think I'm not there yet. But this morning was a real slap in the face.
You're going to be playing Tony Evers' wife?
I still feel really good about that match.
Was this your first game back today?
No, we played Tuesday, and I had a decent day.
But it's your first week.
Yeah.
This is like Aaron Rodgers taking one preseason snap and being like, I don't have it anymore. You got plenty of time to bounce back.
So you're saying give it a little time.
Yeah.
You're saying give it a little time.
Don't make the first week back after significant injury and time away like a be-all, end-all of what your career is at this point.
It's a good point.
But I know how I feel. I know how I feel.
What about, I understand that Flea, Brian Engel, and Nate Weir got promotions up in Green Bay, so they're even busier now. What is your post-pickleball recovery work? I know the Patio Pleasures cold tub was on order, but are you, and I'm not criticizing you here, I'm asking, but when you're an NFL player, when you're an NFL player, you've got a lot of support staff around you. You got Red and the boys in the equipment room making sure your helmet fits right and you're wearing the right jock strap and whatever else. You've got the athletic training staff there to stretch you out or spat you up.
Why would you bring jockstrap up?
Because it's a fun word to say. It's a fun word.
Do they actually make sure you're wearing the right jock strap? Yeah, that's.
You're talking about training and like rehab, and then
I was talking about the equipment staff.
A little goofy.
That would seem to be a helmet and a jock strap.
Jesse,
would
it
be
was a
both
goofy
issued.
drop.
It was a little
it makes
goofy.
No sense.
Yeah.
It's just a weird.
I don't think
it goes
they're
back to that whole
checking that.
Furby bit. All that Furby stuff. It's just Jason's in a frisky mood.
It doesn't go in any way back to the Furby stuff.
You're going to post that picture? I think our fans would love to see that.
I feel like I need an all clear from Jason to post the picture because that feels like an invasion of privacy.
Jason, listen.
I'll ask
We
Paula.
all age. Do you ever see? Has Paula ever looked happier?
Yes, she looks happy a lot. She's a very happy person.
But that is a great picture of Paula.
For those who are curious, if we can get back to the jockstrap issuance in a moment, that would be great.
I don't want to.
We don't have to.
It was not. It's a funny word to me. So there's a photo of us. I did the Elmo costume for one of her nephew's birthdays when he turned 2. And it was before we had kids, and it's a picture of Paula, and I'm dressed as Elmo, and she looks amazing, and I look great too, because you can't even see me. It's just me inside of the Elmo costume, and there were some on the panel, I won't mention who, but who thought that this was not, in fact, evidence of me having an Elmo costume after our discussion about furries earlier in the week. Talk about edgy. It was proof that I might be engaging in said behavior, which I assure you I am not. But if you don't want to believe me, there's not much I can do about that. I would like to get to my question now, please, and I'll get clearance from Paula whether it's okay to post it. She looks great in the photo, so I would assume she'll be fine with it.
It's the happiest. I'm telling you right now, I don't see Paula all the time. That photo, I guarantee you. It's what I just said. But pictures, I don't know if there's a better picture of Paula than
you haven't seen many pictures of her either. All right, so
that's fair.
Just answer the question, Jockstrap, and that is this: after practice,
Jesse, doesn't she look happy on old?
She's so happy, so happy.
She does.
I'll get clearance in the break, and then it can be a digi only. You can break it all down. I want to know.
I like that.
What you're doing to protect and rehab and improve the status of your knee, because you don't have Flea, you don't have Nate Weir, you don't have Pepper Burris or now Hall of Famer Kurt Fielding to be helping you with your knee. And I do find myself wondering if without that support staff, much like without Sarah serving as your IT department and the other things she does for you, if you're actually taking care of it to give yourself the best chance to succeed on the pickleball court.
Well, no, I mean, the first thing you got to do is lose weight. I mean, that's the deal. So all of the other stuff, am I sitting there rehabbing?
Are you icing?
And am I icing down? No, I'm not.
Well, maybe you should. I don't want to scold you, but don't you think that might help?
Kind of what you're. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it might. I have a sleeve that I put on when it gets swelled up, and that kind of pushes
compression.
Compression thing out. But listen, man, I knew when I signed up. I was hoping that it wouldn't, blow out twice and meniscus blown and all the MCL, all this other stuff.
Groin.
But I kind of knew. Like, I didn't know that there'd be CTE and, concussions. And all. I was dumb enough to not know all of that. But I knew I'd probably have a little hitch in my giddy-up. I knew there'd be things that happened. And you live with it. You deal with it, and you hope that you can function as well as you can. And I think Jesse's right. I think maybe I'm just a little overreactive this morning because it was such a brutal loss. Like, brutal.
Fans calling into the pickleball post-game show this morning. Definitely a little.
They're going to say Tausch looks
fire
washed.
everybody. Yeah, Tausch is done.
He doesn't move. Mm-hmm. He's washed. They
it's
kept
like Aaron
going
Rodgers
middle, and they
late in 2022.
They just picked and picked and picked and picked, and there's not a lot I can say. So, yeah, that's what they'd say. It's time to move on.
Is that so? Are you telling us that them taking advantage of your hobbled status is why you lost?
Yeah.
That's gotta burn.
It's painful. Yeah, that's why it stings.
Emotionally and physically.
Why it stings.
Yeah.
Yeah, more emotionally. The physical part is what it is. The emotional part, because, I view myself as a champion, and I love winning. Sometimes it goes better than others. I don't mind getting beat if it's, hey, good battles, whatever, but
sure.
It was old T. This is an old T loss today, and that's where it stings. I would have preferred Marty drop 52 balls into the net and hit 62 deep. That ain't what happened.
Marty pulled his weight. Tausch did not. Okay, good to know.
That's true.
So last question on this, on the Pickleball postgame show, brought to you by the Prairie Athletic Club. Sign up today. Are you, when you're playing and they're doing this to you, because you are a competitor, you compete at everything, how pissed are you getting? Like, I know you're saying that it's okay, and you think it's IPT, but you would do the same thing to them if they were hobbled.
100%.
But what is the boiling point that's going on within the fire, the competitive fire that burns inside Old T when this is happening?
Yeah, up 8-5, 2 chances to put away, easy backhand little puts down the side, and I sailed both deep, and I let out some primal screams. I don't throw paddles. I'm not a jackwagon, but I
swear.
That's what I did. No, I didn't swear. It's not. But it
what
was just what again? I just. No, you can run it back. I'm battling a little cold too.
I did not expect that.
That's
I didn't either. That was great.
Well, thanks. That's what I did.
And I think we might have a new hotkey that has nothing to do with South Dakota or anything that Mark Murphy might say. So I'm excited about that. That's something you might be saying. That's a sound you might be making, too, when your windows are drafty and leaky and creaky and you don't make the right decision and you go with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Yeah, you turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella Windows and Doors. The luxurious look, sleek design, and customized colors available are guaranteed to give your home the extra pop to entertain and to keep you comfortable. It's the best of both worlds. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home, it's never been easier. Right now, you can either get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or you don't have any down payment. You don't have any interest, and you have no payments for 18 months if you book before April 30th. Take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The Pickleball postgame show has led Jesse to an interesting question. He will pose it. You'll want to come back for this. I've gotten a preview. It's a good idea. I don't mean to sound so surprised. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Beautify your entertainment space with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hi, this is Gina Della from Pella. Turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months if you book before April 30th. Take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, Solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, pay 0 interest for 12 months and get a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 11.5 to 15-ounce selected varieties Marie Callender dinners or pot pies, 2 for $6. 7 to 15-ounce selected varieties Rana pasta or sauce, $3.99. 45-ounce tub selected varieties Imperial spread, $3.99. 128-ounce selected varieties Hawaiian punch, $3.49.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
It's our lowest prices of the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, shop unbeatable deals on the things you need for spring. Like 3-pound bags of estate grass seed, just $9.99. $10 off 36-pound bags of estate crabgrass preventer, $26.99. Assorted 5-quart jugs of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, $21.49 after sale and rebate. And Stabil gasoline stabilizer, just $9.99 a quart. Don't miss our lowest prices of the season in-store or online at farmandfleet.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Paula has given us the go-ahead. You can use that photo. She would like to say that she has lots of photos where she looks happy. Not any more so in the Elmo photo, but it is from 2009?
Is she happier when you have
no.
Rover? Is she happiest when there's
costumes? No, as much as you'd like that to be the case.
No, I don't care one way or the other. All I can go off is what I see. And what I saw there is one happy young lady.
Yeah, but if you pointed out that recently you used your Instagram, but you don't follow either of us. You have no interest in our lives.
I don't really take a look. Oh, I just
take
looks at that.
I appreciate that. But I follow you because I want to see your Giannis jersey out at the old AmFam field. But lots of photos of her happy.
Giveaway. Yeah, Best giveaway of the year.
Yeah. So we've gotten clearance on posting the photo, which I'm very excited about. And
so
all right, we'll break that down.
Next segment?
We'll break that down digi only. Jesse, you just let us know when you want to break it down.
Next commercial break. It'll be ready. Next commercial break. Stick around. Join us on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel or on Wilde and Tausch Twitter and Facebook. We will go digi only. Next commercial break. Breaking it down.
There's nothing I like breaking down more than Wilde in an Elmo costume with his beautiful, at that point, fiance or wife?
By the way, fiance, I believe. But also, two things. One, again, just for clarity's sake, I am not a furry. I don't lie on this show.
Nobody said you're a furry.
The allegation is
I thought you were secure.
I am.
You were very secure.
But you're trying to paint me. We
asked the question.
Is she ever as happy as you are when you're dressed as Grover or Elmo or in a costume, is what you just said. So I just want to make sure, A, that's clear. And secondly, which I think is important, we enjoy your Digi-Onlys. I am doing this out of the kindness of my heart. Paula, a good sport about this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome for my service. Whatever it takes for the show was her quote, so I appreciate her saying that.
Wow. That's nice of her. Okay.
But this all started with the unicorn head. So I think in return, so I can take it off of Facebook Marketplace, you should buy it for $10 from me so I can stop selling it.
Bring it tomorrow to Buck and Honey's.
Indeed, I will. All right. Jesse, you had a great question. Furriness aside, you had a great question that you thought of based on Tausch's gimpy knee and his pickleball opponents attacking that weakness. I thought this was a great question.
What is the Packers' weakness that opponents are going to try and target, just like opponents on the pickleball court attacking Old T today?
What is the Packers' if it's not an Achilles heel, it's a Tausch's knee. What is the Packers' Tausch's knee?
One.
Thank you. I thought it was clever. Great question by Jesse, too.
All right, Jason, what do you think? What is their Achilles heel? What is their Tausch's knee?
So, first of all, I think there are people that believe that it's, and I was going to write about him today or tomorrow because he talked on his, before they departed on the tailgate tour. Even if they pick a tackle in the first round, I'm not entirely sure that it's because Rasheed Walker's not good enough. Like, I think he might be good enough the way he finished the season. And I think people think he's the Tausch's knee, at least to the offensive line. He's certainly not as good as Zach Tom at this point, but he might be better than he gets credit for. So it's not him. I think, and this is where I am uber curious, because historically, Tausch's knee for the Green Bay Packers has been their run defense. And we were talking with our good friend Mike Daniels, who is just as fired up when he's going on the tailgate tour as he is when he joins us. Did he swear during his visit?
He did.
Yes.
He did.
And Bakhtiari did too,
yes.
right? A lot of dump button action.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he is convinced. He said, and I'll send you the audio, he said with the switch to the 4-3, they might as well start fitting Kenny Clark for his Hall of Fame jacket.
Like Packer Hall of Fame?
No,
or regular Hall of Fame?
No, like Canton, Ohio is calling. You're going to get your gold jacket.
Wow.
Because he is going. It's a one gap.
Does Mike kind of understand that
he's kind of big on hyperbole?
They played a 4-3 quite a bit because, as you found out,
I learned that. Yes.
The spacing of what they've done.
I already knew that.
They were not in a base 3-4 hardly at all. As Goody said, they're a 4-2-5. Is that what he said?
Indeed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I get it, and I think this will be good. I think the biggest thing that you're looking for is from Hafley is you're going to let these guys go hunt. Because I just think the defense, the attitude that, Belichick and a lot of older defensive coordinators / coaches had was sound gap-wise, don't give up big plays, just kind of do your job. And I thought that was okay back in the day when every rule change and every penalty and everything didn't favor the offense. Well, now you take drop tackles out of it. You're making it even more difficult. You best be uber aggressive, and there's no more two-gapping and just playing it safe. You got to have guys that are going to get up the field and disrupt, whether it's on an exchange with the quarterback and running back or getting in the backfield and getting lost yardage plays. That's where I think Mike Daniels, what he's saying. Kenny Clark is explosive. You see him. I always just love watching him play the Vikings. It seems like he's got an extra spur in his boots when he plays them. He's in the backfield wrecking games. So that's what I think Mike is saying. And a 4-3 does allow you, because when I think 4-3 defense in my era, And in this last 20 some odd years, I think back and I think the Baltimore Ravens and Tampa, but mainly Tampa, and that's 20 some years ago, but the way that you get things done is you have a stud 3 technique and a stud will linebacker. Everything funnels to the will. The will should have Quay Walker, if he ends up playing the will, which is what I think is going to happen, he should have whatever he had last year. He should have a 15 to 20% tick up as far as tackles. And your 3 technique and what you're going to ask those cats to do is get up the field and disrupt, Warren Sapp style. That's what you're going to be looking for, and then you let your edge guys be edge guys. I think that's the plan of what Hafley and what Matt LaFleur, why they made this switch, is because they realize just sitting back and playing safe, it doesn't work in this version of what the NFL is turning into.
All right, so you're exactly right. That is exactly what Mike Daniels was talking about on Tuesday. Basically, his point was instead of having 2 gap responsibilities and reading and coming off your blocker to fill whichever gap you have to fill, the idea is you'll have 1 gap and you'll attack. And that's why he believes that Kenny will be much more productive, coming off of a year, by the way, where he had a career-high 7.5 sacks in the regular season. My question for you as the washed-up, gimpy old NFL player who played 11 years is that you just kind of outlined the benefits of 1-gap schemes and getting upfield and being aggressive. Having seen our share of hemorrhaging yardage in the run defense around here, what's the risk? What's the downside of that?
Getting gashed. You're going to be very aggressive. You can get wham blocked, and I think that's a big reason why Green Bay decided to go big at the safety spot and pay big, because when you do this, you better have a surefire tackler in the back end. Darnell Savage wasn't that. And we saw that in that San Francisco playoff game where you're going to be aggressive and you're going to get back. Sometimes you get the gun, sometimes the Rabbits got the gun. And in this case, is that how that goes again? I keep screwing up.
I don't know. The 8th time you've messed this one up.
Well, what is it?
I don't know anymore.
Okay, great. But my point is, sometimes they'll get you. As a defensive, you'll stunt it and you'll get it. And then there's times that you'll run into a stunt. When you're running the football, if you know that there's a stunt coming, it's a lot easier to move people because they're already moving that way. Especially if you're doing gap schemes and things like that. It's washed down, and then there's gaping holes, and that puts a ton of pressure on your secondary to tackle. So I would think what Brian Gutekunst and Hafley are going to be looking at most, you need guys that can cover. That's the job one. But if you're going to play aggressive and you're going to be 1 gap, get up the field, be disruptive, you better have surefire, solid back-end tackling, or that's when you get beat. Because for as much as we gave Joe Barry's defense a ton of grief, how many big boy plays did we see last year? Over the top or long gashing runs. Outside of McCaffrey's, 35-yard touchdown run where Darnell Savage was right there. He just missed him. That was the plan that Joe Barry put in place. They said they didn't want that anymore. And, by the way, a lot of Packer fans, everybody is kind of in unison. They don't want that. All right, this will be fun. But you better believe that there's going to be some times you get gashed. And then how do you react when you get gashed? Do you stick with what you're doing? Or do you clench up and say, well, this ain't working. We got to go soft cover 2 or we got to do this. That's the question mark that I think is going to be fascinating.
For the record, I have had to look this phrase up so many times that all I have to do is type the word sometimes into my Google search bar, and the first suggestion is sometimes the Rabbits got the gun. So that's how many times this has now occurred. That's not actually what the phrase is. No.
That's not it.
It's just that I've searched that so many times because you've said that way as often as you have. The phrase is ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. It ain't.
There's actually a song. I'm going to have to play it, I think. I got to make sure it's all good with
make
the
sure
lyrics.
it's clean, yeah.
I'll play it for you. It might be your new theme music.
The main point of this saying is that it shows how people who used to be in control feel uncomfortable or unhappy when they end up on the receiving end of power or revenge.
Yeah, it's great when Kenny Clark beats the guard and tackles old boy in the backfield for a 6-yard loss. It ain't so great when they got, the right tackle came down and washed him down, and wide open spaces. Rabbit's got that gun.
I'm not sure that fits perfectly, but I could see it. It works for me. What also works for me is how many quick trips there are right off of I-43 from our ballet drives. It's we can stop in Belgium, we can stop in Oostburg, we can stop in Manitowoc, we can stop pretty much anywhere. Not today, not tomorrow, not after breakfast.
Not tomorrow, not after breakfast, now.
No, but Quick Trip's got some fun things. You're talking about driving to Milwaukee and getting down to AmFam Field. Right now, for every $200 you spend at Quick Trip with Quick Rewards, you can earn a free ticket to a Brewers game of your choice. How fun is that? You know what I love at Brewers games? The ice cream in the helmet. And with Quick Trip, you can make your own at home. We love, obviously, I tell you all the time, the kids love the for reals. There is a turtle pecan sundae that they do, the Nature's Touch. It is the best. It is the best, Jerry. Check that out. Get Nature's Touch ice cream. 1 gallon pails now are for $4.99, vanilla or chocolate, or you can get both. And, of course, you know it's fresh from the Quick Trip Dairy in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Perfect for enjoying the final few innings or for when the neighborhood kids come over for a wiffle ball game. Ice cream and baseball, an undefeated combination.
Tausch has not answered.
Turtle pecan sundae.
Yeah,
I think
good.
it's probably when you start adding candied into ice cream, the fact that it's a chocolate-covered caramel, that's like I think the turtle, probably the best hard-covered candy you're going to have.
What?
The caramel with the nut and the hard chocolate. Tell me a better enclosed
I don't think the chocolate
candy.
is hard. Is the chocolate hard?
Yeah, it's in ice cream.
Well,
Yes.
right, but not the actual turtle. Like the turtle piece of candy, the turtle bar. It's like in a orange and white.
You better have some choppers. You ain't. Let me tell you something. You got little baby teeth.
Going
you
to
ain't
the
getting into
dentist
that.
today, so I'll make sure I get a turtle after.
You better have some choppers if you want to eat. You want to eat
like
that
the
ice cream
pecan
with the good
is a
hard
challenge.
turtle. Yeah, well, the pecan is what meshes the whole thing together with this. The caramel's not soft.
We'll talk more about is the caramel as hard as the caramels? And here's a callback.
What's a better enclosed mix
for frequent listeners to the show? Were the caramels that your relative stole from you at Christmas?
Caramels.
Were those hard?
You understand that this isn't just enclosed caramels. This is chocolate. You know what a turtle is, right? Do you know what a turtle is?
Yes. Jesse ignored them in his yard.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got to work with you all the time. You got nothing for me?
It's the nut with the chocolate with the little caramel on top. I don't like nuts, so I'm out on the turtle.
There's no caramel on top. It's embedded in the turtle. Like it's a hard-covered chocolate, caramel, and nuts inside the belly of the turtle. Do you guys not? I don't think you guys know what turtles are.
I enjoy the turtle bar. Again, I can describe the container, the wrapper. I don't think the chocolate is hard. It may be hard in the ice cream because it's cold. These are the kinds of discussions we
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not telling you it's sitting out in the sun for 6 months.
All right. I want to get to your weakness, your knee injury of the Packers roster right now.
And Digi only.
But everybody wants to take a look at Paula's just glowing. She's glowing in this picture.
You said when you're adding candy to the ice cream, that's when it's so... God, I hate you so much.
It's in the ice cream, Jace. That's why it's called Turtle Pecan Sundae.
You're not listening to me, and you're going to say, you just don't like what I'm hearing. So we're going to stop, and we're going to go Digi only. on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Join us there right now so you can see me dressed as Elmo and with Paula on my lap. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
ESPN Milwaukee Cares is here. Gabe Neitzel is teaming up with the MAC Fund to raise funds and awareness for pediatric cancer research. Here's Gabe Neitzel to tell us more.
The MAC Fund has been fighting the fight against childhood cancer for the last 46 years. All of the proceeds for the MAC Fund go directly to fund research for childhood cancer. If you're unfamiliar with the MAC Fund, that's okay, because President and CEO Becky Pinter of the MAC Fund explains the MAC Fund is simple, and it comes down to one word.
There's so many aspects of the MAC Fund and what we do, but it always boils down to hope. You'll go in my office, and there's a number of signs in my office that simply say hope. And we all know what that means. The families, the kids, the doctors, the researchers, the scientists, the nurses, we all have hope for these kids. And we all have hope that we're going to find a cure for pediatric cancer and blood disorders.
To learn more and to donate, text CARES to 800-990-3776.
You ever have one of those days when you just couldn't come up with the right answer? Well, I know one answer that pretty much solves all problems. Ice cream. Yeah, it's the answer to everything, right? And right now, at Quick Trip, our rich, creamy, straight from our dairy, Nature's Touch 1-gallon pails of ice cream are just $4.99. Yeah, now that's an answer worth digging into. Come on, be a problem solver. Bring home some fresh, delicious Nature's Touch ice cream, only from Quick Trip.
Homer here to tell you about Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a faith-based nonprofit that helps thousands of youth every year, many right here in Milwaukee, overcome trauma, suicidal thoughts, and live better lives. For youth who are hurting, who feel lost or abandoned, and families feeling powerless to help them, Rawhide is there to help. They also need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping hurting youth transform their future. Donate to Rawhide Youth Services. Visit rawhide.org/donate.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Birthday parties, anniversaries, or bachelor parties. You can count on the Brewers to host. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite spot at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Come home this morning, hear what she said. You brought home, baby, diseases too. That's your time to pay this, I'm telling you. It ain't no fun. Said it ain't no fun. Said it
If you missed out on the Digi Only on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, I personally don't think you missed much. Others may disagree. But the photo, I'll tweet it out just to make people happy that aren't on the video stream. But that, again, we're trying to tell you, lots of fun stuff happens on the video stream. You get to see all kinds of great stuff. So join us on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, and you'll see that entertainment right there. All right. Tausch, let's get back to your knee. Tausch's knee. The Achilles heel for the Green Bay Packers. The Tausch's knee for the Green Bay Packers.
Quick question. How do we approach this OJ Simpson deal?
I hate to admit to this. What OJ Simpson deal?
I think, again, Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to be spreading fake news. But I think OJ passed away just now.
Like during the Digi Only?
There is a tweet from 15 minutes ago from OJ Simpson's Twitter account. On April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. Signed, the Simpson family. So yes, OJ Simpson, per reports, has passed away.
Okay, so when you look at the Packers and what might be their problem on their roster,
Jesse, what else you got?
Exactly. I'm sorry. What would you like to talk about, OJ?
No, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously newsworthy, and it's something that I think is interesting. But from a Packer fan standpoint, no, it's just a great. Well, yeah, I don't know how to even talk about it.
So you just decided to blurt it out.
Bring it up. You let people know that are listening, because I think it's intriguing and people are being interested to hear
how to talk
and
about
then you can move on.
So I will just. I mean, he was. I'm not saying allegedly. He was a murderer. I don't really have much desire to discuss him. It was certainly a memorable period in both. What were you in high school?
Yeah, I was a senior
college.
In high school.
I remember being at
still a senior in high school.
At a watering hole on Water Street with one of my buddies, and the NBA Finals were on NBC, and they had like basically a split screen of the NBA Finals and the Bronco chase simultaneously. I remember that very vividly. And if you are interested in OJ, because we are not going to cover him all that much on this program, the OJ Made in America documentary series from ESPN, which you can find on ESPN Plus, is outstanding. Like, it is really extremely well done. So that has been your OJ is Dead minute.
The FX series was really good too, which came out before the that was
like with actors, right?
Yes, yeah, that was a lot of really good actors. It was very good. It was like a 10-part series. I want to say it was very good.
So Tausch, the Packers' Achilles heel, Tausch's knee. There's no segue from Dad. What are we gonna do with the OJ Simpson news?
Well, do you
what
think
OJ Simpson news?
Do you think you bring it up, or should we just not said anything?
I think I would have been fine without bringing it up.
Is it not newsworthy?
It's for sure.
Jesse?
It's newsworthy.
But there's lots of newsworthy. The Bucks beat the Orlando Magic last night. Crucial win. We didn't bring that up. That's newsworthy. Right?
Fair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
This Raptors dude who might get banned for life by the NBA for point shaving. That's newsworthy.
Yeah, another good example. And OJ reportedly, allegedly, no longer with us. Tausch, I really do want to know what you think the Packers Tausch's knee. Is this one of those, it's either an A or an F, and if it's an F, it's an A? Type of segments?
We went from Elmo to OJ, trying to weave in Packers talk in between.
This is one of those long, strange trips. Yeah, it's easy for me.
Like in the White Bronco.
I think there's a lot of strengths that this team has. We still have to see some more from Jordan. for as much as I loved what I saw the last 10 weeks. But the biggest Achilles heel on this football team is their special teams. And do you trust right now that you're going to make a field goal when the money's on the table? No, nobody does. That's why you brought in Old Boy to compete with Anders. So I think that group, and I think for as much as everybody loves Bisaccia, you need to step it up. Like, you're supposed to be the guy, and this group was supposed to take some monumental jump. Where did they finish in the Gosselin rankings?
Like 30th or 31st.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that Sean did. Like, that's where they were with him.
Both Menenga and Slocum.
You pick a Sean. So you pay him top dollar to bring and improve your group, and they have not done that. Now, Keyshawn Nixon with this new kickoff rule, there's a bunch of optimism that can change things, but you got to get your kicker right, and you have to make sure that you feel really good about that because you're going to play a lot of close football games. That's just how the NFL is. And right now, I think the biggest Achilles heel of this football team is, do you trust that group? I don't think so.
We're getting OJ texts now. We'll have to get to those a little bit later. If you were curious like I was, trying to somehow tie, should we talk about the OJ Simpson news into a Packers-focused show? OJ Simpson played against the Packers only one time in his career. 1974 with the Bills. In a 27-7 win at Lambeau Field for the Bills, he carried 16 times for 62 yards as the Bills beat the Packers on October 6th, 1974. I want to get to Matt Bowen's story because we're going to have him on the show. If you want to ask Matt Bowen his thoughts on the O.J. Simpson news, you can at 10 o'clock when he's scheduled to appear. But right now, if you could briefly tell us about your love for Coors Light, that would be great.
Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process. Cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. In 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It's crisp, only 102 calories. That's why it's Coors Light in my hand. When I need a moment to chill, celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We will get to Matt Bowen's piece. Before we get to Matt Bowen, who is scheduled to appear to kick off the 10 o'clock hour, we'll talk about what he wrote next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Join the Truth Team on Saturday, April 13th for our 3rd annual Tory Low Community Cleanup. We want you to go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up and be a volunteer to help keep Milwaukee clean. Everyone who joins will get a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today at truthcommunitycleanup.com. That is truthcommunitycleanup.com to clean and beautify our city together. The Truth Community Cleanup is sponsored by Cousin Subs.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Why would Coach Cal leave a blue blood program like Kentucky to go to Arkansas? A seemingly lesser job, a lower profile job. I don't understand it. I get that the fans of Big Blue Nation had the pitchforks out there and they were all ready to have his head served up on a silver platter, but he had a $33 million buyout. He wasn't going anywhere. Like, he had the meeting with the athletic director a couple of weeks ago, and the two sides decided to mend fences, and we thought that meant Coach Cal was going to be on a short leash going into the upcoming season, but apparently he decided, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be left in the lurch. I'm going to go for greener pastures right now. I can't get past this thought in my head that maybe, just maybe, the shine has come off of Kentucky basketball in terms of being one of the upper echelon programs in the sport.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands. at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Further reports confirming what was first reported by our Mark Tauscher.
No, I'm not a reporter.
Analyst Mark Tauscher, that OJ Simpson has died at the age of 76. Is there anything else on the OJ Simpson story that you would like to cover before we move forward?
Again, I know this is, I'm there's just a lot of intrigue. And the fact that, did he tell his family, hey, I did this?
This is a really good question, actually. As much as I
would
want
think that he did.
I would be annoyed by you. This is so you're saying the statement from his family. He passed away. He had been being treated for cancer. Passed away surrounded by his family. Whatever. I would be lying if I said I wasn't fascinated by this guy allegedly killed your mother. How much, what kind of dynamic is that? But your question is, as he's lying there knowing that his time is coming to an end, is he telling them, I did it?
Or did he tell them earlier? And because that's the part I'd be fascinated to hear and to know. He was not convicted, right? He got off and he lived, and then he got thrown in jail for 10 or 12 years.
We're getting some comments on the text line, so I guess we should clarify he was found innocent in the court case, right?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
And then in the civil case, found liable for their deaths. And then went to jail for stealing his own memorabilia back, and there's a guy with a gun and the whole thing.
Yep.
My question for you then is, since this fascinates you, if you were one of his children...
It fascinates you too. It's a fascinating...
The question you asked...
The whole family...
I'm not going to lie. The question you asked is an outstanding question. It irritates me because I really wanted to just talk about Matt Bowen and the draft and whatever else. But of course, as your brain works... This is the inside the mind of a genius. Now I find myself wondering when, if at all, from post adulthood for his kids to the day he died, yesterday, apparently, at any point did he admit to them that he did, in fact, do it? And would you want him to if he was your dad?
No, his kids saw all this stuff. They probably looked into it and saw it. So, yeah, the whole dynamic has just got to be. It's an interesting operation. I would think. Obviously he was a complete narcissist. Like, he's probably the definition. Josh the Big Cat put that out to us, and that's where. And he's right. And typically you don't see narcissism at that level, allegedly, go to that point where you do spit the truth, or as the truth would be, allegedly. I want to make sure I say allegedly a bunch.
You really nailed that.
Now there's people texting in that are mad that I did the thing that the other people were mad about, saying he was found not guilty, not that he was found innocent, which
Also
furthers
true.
the fact that I don't really want to talk about
It's true.
this
He was
anymore.
not found innocent. He was found not guilty. He was
acquitted, some might say.
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to say this has been an enjoyable experience, but it really hasn't.
OJ.
Again, if you're more interested in OJ...
Jason, do you think his kids believe that he didn't do it?
Look, there are lots of people who believe lots of things and allow themselves to be convinced of a lot of things that I can't believe they believe.
On both sides.
Yes, thank you for dynamite dropping, Monty. Yes, there are people that believe things that I find myself stunned that they believe. So if you are his children or grandchildren, I would assume that you want to believe that he was wrongly accused and acquitted because he was not guilty. I'm sure you want to believe that, and if you try hard enough, you can convince yourself of anything. I personally believe that he was guilty. What? Can we?
Well, let's move on.
Can we please?
Rob Vogel just sent a picture of you in another costume. You're definitely a Furby. You're definitely a Furby.
All right. First of all, in fairness to those who live that lifestyle, they are furries, not Furbies.
No, I'm not saying you're a furry. I'm saying you're a Furby.
And what does that mean?
I don't even know, but I know that you love being in fur. That's what I'm finding.
I like making.
Because I'm guessing some of the other dudes that you had stand up in your wedding will send pictures of you in Snuffleupagus or something else. Like, it's just.
Yeah. I'll say this: I never thought I'd choose discussing my costumes over another topic, but you've successfully done that. I'd rather talk about that than more OJ Simpson talk. If you'd be so kind to tell us about Fortria, and then we can move on to the 10 o'clock hour and talk to Matt Bowen, that would be swell.
Well, if you're looking to get a sweet costume like Jason has, or you want to buy some costumes from Jason's face, or if you want to buy hangers, you want to buy that unicorn head. Jason's got a ton of great stuff, and if you're looking for extra cash, Fortria has you covered. Healthy men and women of non-childbearing potential, ages 18 to 60, BMI of 18.5 to 30. Study involves one stay of 11 nights with 2 follow-up visits. You can grab yourself $5,302 for your time and participation. You refer a friend, you can receive another $300 per qualified referral. Go to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortria, Fortrea, clinicaltrials.com.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, and it starts with a visit from our old friend Matt Bowen. So stick around. No more OJ talk. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
But I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and curbless, ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
Suit up for the $800,000 Sports Car Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. April through May, score free play, cash, one of 4 new Toyota GR86s or a new Toyota Supra. Play with your club card to earn entries, 5 times the entries on drawing days, and when the Milwaukee Brewers play at home. Got what it takes? Slugger, only at Potawatomi. For more details, visit paysbig.com/sportscar. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. In the 2000 NFL Draft, with the 224th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers selected Mark Tauscher, offensive lineman, Wisconsin. With the 199th pick, the New England Patriots selected Michigan quarterback Tom Brady. But before either one of them came off the board, at number 198 from Iowa, it was Matt Bowen, and he joins us now. Matthew, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you?
It's been a while. You're a very busy man. What's going on?
Just getting through the draft coverage right now. Just writing at ESPN and, like everyone else, preparing for the draft and trying to figure this class out and looking at talent and traits and trying to find team fits. But at this point, you're pretty much done with all of your study. And look, the next 2 weeks is just trying to get through it, really, with all the analysis out there and over-analysis. I think at times when you start watching tape too much, after a while you start to confuse yourself, right? Like a player like Caleb Williams has undeniable talent. You keep watching. At the end of the day, just trust what you see. I always say trust your eyes, whether it's watching tape, coaching. It doesn't matter in this game. Trust your eyes, trust what you see, and stick with that going through the draft.
So you are not a big mock draft guy. You are a break down the film and give your insights guy. It's one of the reasons why I enjoy your work so much. That said, who do you think the Packers are picking at 25?
Well, they have some team needs. Let's start with free agency first, what they did in free agency. Because to me, that was, not something we're accustomed to seeing from the Green Bay Packers front office, is to be aggressive in free agency. And I love what they did. Xavier McKinney, and I remember I handled free agency for ESPN this year. And I was writing about Xavier McKinney, and he talked to guys around the league, and it's pretty simple. If you have post range and ball skills to get drafted high and get paid in free agency. And that's what Xavier McKinney is, especially in the defense in Green Bay now, that in terms of coverage structure and coverage identity is going to change a lot. It's not going to be the same split safety coverage, zone heavy. It's to be more man coverage, more blitz heavy, more aggressive. You need a center fielder over the top. That's what McKinney can do. And also I use the term multidimensional traits as a safety. What that means is you have deep range. Yes, you can roll down into the front, you can tackle, but you also have that coverage ability where you can blitz off the slot. Now your safety rolls down and picks up coverage. That's what McKinney can do. Josh Jacobs, number one running back. There's no question about it. A volume grinder, can handle 20-plus touches a week, has more receiving traits that we talk about, and especially in an offense like Matt LaFleur, I think you'll see Josh Jacobs deployed much more as a receiver out of the backfield. And look, you don't have to be the best receiver in the NFL coming out of the backfield. Can you do certain things? Can you get open underneath? Can you beat a linebacker? Can you produce after the catch on a screenplay? And I love what they did in free agency. That was a great start to the offseason.
Matt, why would the Giants let McKinney go? You get a kid, you draft him, he becomes a really good player. Why would you let him go?
That's a great question, especially given his background in playing at Alabama too. When you draft defensive backs, that's the first place I go is really Alabama and Georgia, right? And Iowa, just to put that in there. But
of course, sure, yeah.
That's a great question, but a lot of times it's the business of football, right? It's money. Where do you want to allocate your money? Are you paying other guys in the secondary? Look, I went through it in Green Bay when I left and went to Washington. I was doing everything, calling Bobby Slowick, saying, I want to stay, and talking to Andrew Brandt, and there was other money invested in the secondary at the time, so I moved on. And sometimes that can be the case, and also it could be a coaching staff like they're making a change in terms of the coordinator in New York, and it might be the coordinator's looking for a different type of skill set at the safety position. There's a lot of things that go into it, but for Green Bay, when someone like that is available, and you are making a change from a defensive profile perspective, go out and be aggressive.
Yeah, you never get better. I always am wondering, it's one thing if a guy's going into his third deal, but when you have somebody that's going into their or you get these, trades at the trade deadline where somebody's in year 3 or 4 and they're a great player, you always wonder, well, why would that team let him go? And obviously finances come into it, but if you believe and love the guy, you don't let those guys walk out the door.
No, I agree. And maybe that's something in that building in New York that was being discussed, and we're not a part of that discussion. And I agree with you. Usually, your priority free agents remain a priority to you, and they stay. And you get those deals done before you even get to March, right? So, but again, you look at the fit and you say it works.
Yeah, no doubt, and I think everybody's excited to see how that works with a more aggressive defense. Everybody was bashing Joe Barry for years. We're excited to see some of that more aggressiveness, and with McKinney being that guy. I got 3 guys, Big Ten guys, that I want your kind of breakdown on. I watched the Illinois game, and my guy Newton just gave Wisconsin all kinds of trouble. You got your guy Cooper DeJean out at Iowa, who Packer fans are salivating to try and get, but everybody's worried he tested too well and he's not going to be available. And then the guy that I think has got tons of talent coming off the edge, my boy Chop from Penn State. Can you give us a little breakdown on those 3?
Well, Newton is fun to watch. I mean, he creates, chaos in the backfield. That's what he does. He's a disruptive interior defensive lineman. And again, I think if you look at today's NFL, that's becoming such a premium position for your defensive front, the ability to create A and B gap pressure, the ability to push the pocket. And with Newton, someone who is very refined in terms of his pass rush moves or pass rush counters. He's not just going to give you speed to power. He's not just going to do an arm over. He's going to set up offensive tackles and offensive guards to get home to the quarterback. And I think he plays with such high effort. And that's one thing I look at now, being a high school coach for 10 years, is how much – what can you see in terms of their overall play demeanor, right? And that matters to me. Do they play with true high energy? Are they relentless to get to the quarterback? Are they relentless to make plays behind the line of scrimmage? And that's what you get with Newton. I think that's someone that's going to get drafted higher than most people think, because that position is more premium now because of the disruption he put on his college tape. Cooper DeJean, obviously, I am biased there.
You love him.
I know Cooper.
I bet you love him.
Best Iowa defensive back to come out of Iowa City since Matt Bowen.
No, he's a lot better than me. There's no question about that. Look, extremely high football character, extremely high football intelligence. Played under Phil Parker at Iowa, and Phil Parker has a track record of putting defensive backs in the NFL that play for a long time. Micah Hyde's a great example of that. The Cooper DeJean is got excellent backfield vision. What I mean by that is when he's playing off the ball, he can clue inside, get a jump on the throw, excellent ball skills, has a playmaking element to his game, is physical, is tough, will tackle, has man coverage ability. And also, I think he's got all-pro upside as a punt returner. I really believe that. Punt returner, you look at certain traits. He's fearless, has exceptional ball skills, exceptional ball carrier vision, has a short area speed and a long speed to create explosive plays for you as on special teams. And then Chop Robinson, you're not going to find someone watching tape that gets off the ball faster. You're just not. Mm-hmm. I mean, he is so explosive coming off the ball, and he has the lower body flexibility to turn the corner, flatten his rush path, and get home to the quarterback. Didn't have a ton of production at Penn State, but again, it's the same thing I go through at the high school level with recruiting. It's not so much about the numbers, it's projecting the talent, right? Mm-hmm. And the draft is all about talent and traits, especially in the first round. That's what it is. When you talk about your highly productive college players that don't have the traits, those are day 3 guys. Those are guys like me, What you're looking for at the top of the draft is that talent and those traits that will transition to playing on Sundays.
Talking with me, you, Tom Brady. It's us three, the dream team. Matt, before Jason jumps in, that Chop, when you watch that Penn State Michigan, I believe because of Chop, didn't throw the football. They could not block him. And when I saw that game, that's when my ears perked up and thought, is there a chance that he'll be available at 25, or do you think he goes early?
Well, I think there's a chance. I really do. I think he's in that 15 to 25, 27 range. That's probably where he's going to go. And Tausch, as an offensive tackle, when you're threatened with speed consistently, it's going to impact how you play. It's also going to open up the door for inside counter moves as well, because you're kicking back so fast to set an edge that it opens up other possibilities for pass rushers. And look, outside of just being a pass rusher, watch him pursuing the run game. I mean, we focus, and I'm guilty of this too, when we talk about pass rushers or defensive backs, we talk about 2 or 3 things, but it's a whole football game they got to play. Chop Robinson has the speed, the lateral movement ability to pursue the football and cut off the ball on the edge as well.
All right, Matt, now that Tausch has handled all of his important questions, other than getting your thoughts on OJ Simpson's passing, which we'll let him ask at the end of the discussion because that's where we spent entirely too much time before you joined us. I have a few questions myself, but I want to start with something you just said. You kind of made this self-deprecating reference of guys that are productive in college, that their upside or their potential, that's why they're day 3 guys. There's a hell of a lot of really good football players that get drafted on day 3. And I'm not just talking about Tom Brady or you or the knucklehead I talk to every day. What is it, and what are the keys from what you have seen from all the film that you watch to finding those guys that are going to carve out the kinds of careers that you, that Tausch, that Micah Hyde, who was a 6th-round pick, that Corey Linsley, who was a 5th-round pick. I go on and on. There have been a lot of really good football players that have come through Green Bay that were not day 1 or day 2 guys. What are you looking for in those guys?
That's a great question. I think Micah Hyde's a great example because I believe Micah ran a 4.62, high 4.5, which isn't a 4.4. And especially now, the way guys train and science and nutrition, they're running much faster. But when you don't have the high-end traits in terms of the height, weight, and speed that they're looking for, the explosive power they're looking for based on the vertical and the broad jump, you do drop a little bit in the draft. Mm-hmm. But those guys on day 3, one of the reasons they're successful, in my opinion, is a professional approach to the game of football. Okay, and that can be broken down in a lot of ways. But one, their football intelligence, their willingness to develop and improve, their willingness to compete, their willingness to understand that I'm going to have to play special teams for 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to carve out a role on special teams for a couple of years and develop on special teams, and then understand when I get my opportunity, I'm going to take advantage of it, right? And simple things like that, and there's a couple other things too. The toughness, the ability to play hurt. There's a lot of things that go into a football player that you're not going to see at the NFL scouting combine, right? There's a ton of stuff that goes into that. How are you coachable? Simple things like that. Can you handle adversity? There's going to be a lot of adversity in playing in the National Football League. There's going to be a ton of adversity. Can you handle getting cut and getting picked up by another team and carving out a new role there? I mean, there's a lot of things to go through. But the way I always say it is, do you have a professional approach to the game of football, and do you love the game of football? Because if you don't, the coaching staff in the front office is going to figure that out pretty quick.
And since you say that, I want to follow up, because when we talk about Micah Hyde, one of the biggest compliments that I always heard, and he loved it, he loved this compliment, the guy's just a football player, right? I mean, that's like the highest compliment. He's also an Iowa guy. Now, you got a couple of Wisconsin guys here, but the tailgate tour was leaving on Tuesday. Brian Bulaga, Iowa guy. Mike Daniels, Iowa guy. Packers have drafted Iowa guy after Iowa guy in recent years. I know, and we give Brian a hard time every week when he joins our program, that they had a little trouble scoring points in recent years offensively. But Lucas Van Ness, I mean, the list goes on and on. What is it about Kirk Ferentz and that program that has allowed as many of you guys as there have been to not only be good players in the league, but seemingly end up as Packers?
Yeah, Aaron Campman, that's another one, fifth round pick. I think I think when you draft a guy from Iowa, that you're really getting a second or third year pro in terms of their maturity, their professionalism, their ability to be coached, the toughness they bring, the style of football they play in terms of how they're taught and coached under Kirk Ferentz. And that has nothing to do with traits, has nothing to do with production. That's just, their personality or their football character, really. That's what you're getting. And you guys say it, and I talk to scouts around the league, they say the same thing. And that's the program that Kirk has built, is they've been able to win games a certain way. They've been able to develop players a certain way, where you could take a 2 or 3 star kid and develop him over time. So when he is ready to go into the NFL draft, is that he is pro ready. And that football intelligence is in there as well. But I think the number one thing is how they're coached and how they are coached hard at Iowa. Because you have to coach hard at Iowa, because you don't have the talent of Ohio State. You don't have the talent of Michigan. You don't have the talent of Penn State. So how do you compete with those teams? And it's usually fundamental football. That's, situational football, how Kirk coaches. Getting to fourth quarter football games, when you're in the game, you compete to win the football game at that point. And ultimately how you're developed over time on the field, in the weight room, in the classroom, that you get a pro-ready player that is much more mature.
Yeah, I really like Kirk, and not only because he's the only college coach to ever butt dial me on his phone. Last thing for me, I was looking at Mel Kiper's mock today that was posted, and he has the Packers taking Amarius Mims, the offensive lineman from Georgia, who has been in for a top 30 visit, and is a position that, at the very least, they need to cultivate depth, even if you think Rasheed Walker is a starter in this league. What do you think of him? Because he's had kind of an interesting journey at Georgia, and the Packers, when they're not obsessed with Iowa guys, they seem to be obsessed with Georgia guys.
Right. Well, if you're talking about someone that needs to develop, that would be Mims. And you're talking about someone that has all the physical tools, that would be Mims as well. 6'8", 340 pounds. Has the length, has the foot quickness. Can block in the run game, can pass set with depth, and handle speed to power and mirror pass rush. Has everything you want, but like you said, just only started 8 games in college. So that's someone, if you're drafting at the end of the first round, you might not be drafting for week 1 and 2 in September, but you're really drafting for future years. Someone you want to get in the field at one point as a rookie, but someone also that you're drafting in terms of his developmental growth and the plan you have moving forward to make him your starting left tackle for a long time.
Matt, what do you see from a running back spot? You see anybody going early? And when you're evaluating Braylon Allen, what jumped off the screen for you with him?
I think the running backs are going to go. It's hard to say when the run starts. See, Jonathan Brooks is probably the overall top running back in this class, but tore his ACL in November. So that's a hard draft eval in terms of when he's going to be ready. Can he start the season ready to go in training camp? You don't know that yet. But in terms of the talent, he'd be the top running back. I think that's sometime on day 2, probably second round. And after that, end of second, early third round is usually when we see the start on running backs. Jalen Wright from Tennessee, Trey Benson from Florida State, Blake Corum, who we've all watched this year at Michigan. Braylon Allen, let's be honest, Braylon Allen came to Wisconsin to play in the Wisconsin offense. Tausch, that's the offense you and I know. The offense they ran this year is not that same offense. Braylon Allen is not a back you want in the shotgun, run an inside zone out of the gun or inside zone out of the pistol. To me, he's an old school running back that aligns in an I set and plays downhill. Put him on a north-south track, uses power. He's got good foot quickness, has enough speed, to create explosive plays. But that's someone to me that will start his career in a complementary role to a team that has a running back with more pass game traits, maybe more perimeter speed, but he's going to have a role in that backfield because he can move the chains. He can play for you in short yardage and goal line situations. He can wear down defenses late in the fourth quarter, and everyone needs that. Everyone needs that. And you're seeing right now in the NFL how many teams just run the offense through one player in the offensive backfield. Not many anymore, right? You're going to have 2 to 3 running backs that play and have different roles. So for Braylon Allen, he has a skill set that's different than a lot of these prospects coming out.
Yeah, and it looks like the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. You said a little bit about him earlier. What do you think? Is there's a ton of hype as far as what he's going to do. What's your evaluation on him?
I use the term undeniable talent because that's what he has. Now the next step for Chicago, and I believe you have to take a swing here for the fence and draft Caleb Williams if you're the Chicago Bears. I completely agree with that. Given the history of the franchise at that position, what you have in the division right now with Jordan Love, Jared Goff, how he's playing in Detroit, you need a difference maker at that position to compete in this league. I truly believe that, and Caleb Williams has that ceiling. Now, to get to that ceiling, he's going to have to be coached. He's going to have to play much more within timing and rhythm in an NFL pro offense to get the ball out on time. But he has the things, guys, that I use this term all the time with the players I coach, is some players have uncoachable traits, right, in terms of that talent. That's something that I can't teach to you. And that's what Caleb Williams brings. Outside of structure, he is phenomenal. He is phenomenal what he can do outside of structure. Now your job, in terms of Matt Eberflus and his staff, is to coach him up so he can play more consistently in structure to run Shane Waldron's offense. But in terms of the upside, that's what you're drafting here.
All right, Matt, last one for me. When you watched Jordan Love evolve last season, were you surprised that he played as well as he did, or were you anticipating he was going to look as good as he did at the end of the season?
Probably not that quickly. Okay, first year as a pro starter. But I'll tell you what, over the second half of the season, he was a star. He was. He was a star in terms of his production, in terms of his tape, in terms of his fit in Matt Eberflus's offense, in terms of how he managed the offense. Look, he's on a path right now, considering how young they are, the talent they have around him, and what they did during free agency and what they can do now during the draft, where he can be consistently, when you're talking about top 10 quarterbacks in the league, he's going to be in that discussion. That's how much talent he has. And that's how well he played last year. And that's not by accident. It's an accident if it happens 1 or 2 games. Not of the stretch he did. And it's understandable the first half of the season, getting adjusted to being a first-time starter, getting adjusted to NFL speed week in and week out. And then you see the progression and the growth. That's a sign of coaching. That's a sign of real development. So it's not just Jordan Love. Give credit to that coaching staff, too, in Green Bay, and the receivers around him making plays as well. It's a really fun offense to watch. And, Jordan Love's going to be around for a long time. And I live in Chicago, and that's not a good discussion to have down here right now because it's Favre, it's Rodgers, and now it might be Jordan Love for a long time.
Matt, did you see him when you were scouting him in advance of the 2020 draft being this player? Because I've said this a bunch, and I don't think it undercuts him at all on what he became last year. But he got to camp in 2020, and I know it was the pandemic, but he was terrible. He just wasn't very good. And to your point about coaching and him working his ass off to become the player he is, I just hate this narrative that, we always knew that he was going to be this good, because I don't see how that's possible.
Right. No, I wouldn't have said the same. I wouldn't have said that. back when he was drafted, I always knew he was going to be, develop into a star. No, he had a lot of traits, in terms of the arm talent, the mobility. He plays with a physical element. You have to understand, he didn't play at a Power 5 school. He wasn't playing against the level of competition he's seeing now. There's no question about that. So Green Bay did a smart thing in terms of preparing for the future and drafting a quarterback who had the traits they wanted and understanding that he came from a non-Power 5 program, and he really had to develop as a pocket thrower to make in this league. And that's what he did, to your point. And look at the growth he made. And it's hard to do. And look, I've always said this, the best reps for a football player at any level, you have to play, right? Eventually you got to play. And he didn't get a lot of those opportunities, playing behind Aaron Rodgers. So for him to do this, when he's probably running the scout team, taking his 10 reps a week in team sessions when Rodgers is taking the rest, that's hard to do. That's a credit to him, his coaches, but also his ability to self-scout, watch tape, understand what he's doing in practice, what he has to improve on, and then the reps he got in the offseason as well, OTAs, minicamp, all that stuff adds up over time. If you're doing it the right way, you're being coached the right way, and you allow yourself, that's the other key aspect to it. Do you allow yourself to be coached? A lot of players don't. A lot of players do not in that league. They don't allow themselves to be coached. And if you're a young player and you don't allow yourself to be coached, and especially coached hard, you're not going to develop at a rate that's quick enough to produce on game day. So he did all those things.
Matt, you're the absolute best, man. We love it when you make time for us. I personally hope that Caleb Williams is really good and the Packers-Bears rivalry becomes a lot of fun to watch between these two guys going at it twice a year. I'm sure your Chicagoland friends feel that way too. I'm guessing I'm in the minority here in Green Bay, that there might be a few people who would rather have him flame out like all other Bears quarterbacks have before. Thanks for your time, buddy. We appreciate you.
All right, guys. Talk soon. Thank you.
God, he's so good. He's just so good. That is Matt Bowen, Tausch's former teammate, former Iowa Hawkeye, longtime NFL player, and he just, if you do not subscribe to NFL Plus, he makes it worth Packers Plus. If you don't subscribe to ESPN Plus, he makes it worth your investment. So do that when you have the opportunity. Yeah, it took me a while to get there. Too many pluses in my life. Peacock Plus, which, by the way, you think big tech is always listening? I got a notification yesterday that my free Peacock is over. Yeah, it was bad news, except for the fact I live in Green Bay, so that game will be over the air here in Green Bay, and I'll be able to watch it on television like I would any other game. We'll talk a little bit about what Matt told us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership by joining the U.S. Army ROTC. Army ROTC programs transform students into confident leaders and provide a wide range of scholarships to help pursue life-defining careers. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth. Gain the experience and get the resources to open doors down the road. Army ROTC is open for enrollment. Visit goarmy.com/ROTC to learn more about available opportunities and scholarships, including at Marquette University.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group. I have some questions for you. Who does your books? Hopefully not you. There are better things for you to do in running your business. Do you trust the numbers? Good numbers are critical for making good decisions. Are you getting the advice you need to minimize your taxes and put more money in your pocket? A good advisor makes suggestions to help your business grow and minimize taxes, not just put numbers on a form. Do your calls get returned and your questions answered? Many of our new clients tell us they love our quick response time. We have helped countless businesses increase their profits and lower stress. Get the advice you want and need to grow your business and minimize taxes. If you want to get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, visit neilgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, neilgroup.net.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results Mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to Mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
Cousins Subs wants to make you a VIP. On Friday, May 10th, Donald Driver and Jordan Love will be hosting the annual Green Bay charity softball game at Fox City Stadium in Appleton, Wisconsin. And this year, Cousins and Double D are teaming up to offer you a chance to be their VIP guest. The VIP winner will win a package that includes a meet and greet with Donald, VIP seating, food and beverage, and Cousins Subs for a year. Enter daily at cousinsubs.com/softball. Now through April 30th, Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years, and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Thanks again to Matt Bowen of ESPN.com. You can find all of his work there. And again, if you haven't signed up for ESPN Plus, one of the many perks that come with it are being able to read his lengthy pieces. Not Barwellian long, but long and insightful, and he does all the hard work of evaluating players for his coverage of the draft. Tausch, one of the things, though, that he talked about that was not draft-related was Jordan Love. Here is Matt Bowen talking about what he saw from Jordan Love during the second half of last season.
Look, he's on a path right now, considering how young they are, the talent they have around him, and what they did during free agency and what they can do now during the draft, where he can be consistently, when you're talking about top 10 quarterbacks in the league, he's going to be in that discussion. That's how much talent he has, and that's how well he played. That's how well he played last year, and that's not by accident. It's an accident if it happens one or two games. Not of the stretch he did. And it's understandable the first half of the season, getting adjusted to being a first-time starter, getting adjusted to NFL speed week in and week out. And then you see the progression and the growth. That's a sign of coaching. That's a sign of real development. So it's not just Jordan Love. Give credit to that coaching staff, too, in Green Bay, and the receivers around him making plays as well. It's a really fun offense to watch. And, Jordan Love's going to be around for a long time. And I live in Chicago, and that's not a good discussion to have down here right now because it's Favre, it's Rodgers, and now it might be Jordan Love for a long time.
Matt never played for the Bears, but he is from Chicago land originally and lives down there now. It really is true. And I know the Bears fan base's focus now is on Caleb Williams and their hopes and the dreams that they're pinning to him. But as last season was unfolding, I was reading a piece by Steve Greenberg, one of my former colleagues at the Badger Herald at UW. It's the Bears fans' worst nightmare. And Matt's not saying that as a Bears fan. Matt's saying that as a guy who knows ball and knows how good Jordan Love is.
Yeah, Jesse, you should get that Rounders clip where it's all your dreams dashing away when he's splashing the pot.
Is that the old one or the remake?
That up because the old one.
Wait, there's a Rounders remake in addition to your Ripley show?
Yeah, it's on Prime.
We're just redoing
wait a
all
second.
of
No, I'm talking about
David's
the Rounders
shows?
with. I'm talking about the Matt Damon one.
I'm sorry. I got Rounders and Roadhouse mixed up. Roadhouse, they did the remake.
Very similar films,
sure. Get Rounders and Roadhouse
I've never seen either. They both start with R. They're roughly the same amount of letters. I'm sorry.
Okay, they are roughly the same amount of letters. They couldn't be different. I am not going to watch Roadhouse 2. I can't imagine it's any good. But Roadhouse, you need to watch Roadhouse. And Rounders, there could have been, but Rounders has some of the great quotes, and Jason just used it. So I would disagree with Matt in this respect. He's not a top 10. He's top 5. I think Jordan Love.
Top 2, and he ain't 2.
You tell me 5 quarterbacks you would rather have leading your franchise moving forward on April 11th, 2024. Factor everything into it. I can name 3 or 4 that I feel, but after that list shrinks very much.
All right.
Very much.
Would you like to do this briefly?
Yeah, I think you should probably go to break since your clock management sucks today. But, yeah, no offense to you.
None taken.
No sense.
Might have been all that time we spent talking about OJ Simpson, which is newsworthy that he died. No one disagrees with
you guys
on that.
crushing me. I'm getting every alert from any news organization pop up on my phone.
Oh, my God.
And I bring it up, and you guys act like I'm
the way you brought it up.
Biggest idiot on earth.
Should we talk about OJ Simpson?
Well,
you didn't even say why.
What are we supposed to do with that?
Isn't the whole point of doing a live radio show is when breaking news pops in your face? Let your audience know, but I don't know. That's why I'm not a producer. That's why I don't produce shows.
And we inform the masses. Everyone is aware that OJ Simpson has died.
You're not a producer. You are not, contrary to reports to the otherwise, you are not a concrete asphalt expert.
I am not.
But Johnson
but
and Sons
if you want to
Paving is.
visit with me and you're not Jason, here we go. Johnson and Sons Paving invited me out to one of their job sites. I'm going to be out this summer, and it could be with your business. Book an appointment before May 31st. You can see me out there with the great Johnson and Sons Paving crew. I have over 2 decades of experience and is ready for the challenge that the winter leaves, all those stinking potholes. And Old T's going to be out there, got the vest, got that sweater, got the hard hat, got the whole deal. I'll be out there shoveling a little asphalt, smoothing that bad boy out, making that road look as beautiful as you could possibly have it, patched up completely. And again, that'll be with Johnson and Sons Paving. You want me to come out? Get moving. Book your assignment with johnsonandsonspaving.com, and I'll be ready to rock and roll this summer.
I have before me Pro Football Focus's highest graded quarterbacks of 2023. Now, we all agree that their grades are not the end-all, be-all evaluation, but it's a guideline for us to use on whether or not Jordan Love, you taking Jordan Love over quarterback X to get him into the top 5 after Matt Bowen.
I kind of want to play yes or no, sir. I kind of want to go back.
You want to bring
yes
that one back?
I love the game. I was hoping Jesse would bring this back organically because it's fun.
Here it
yes,
is.
Sir. No, sir. But that's why I'm not a producer. I don't have that.
Or a concrete and asphalt expert. We'll give you those quarterbacks next as Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Suit up for the $800,000 Sports Car Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. April through May, score free play, cash, one of 4 new Toyota GR86s, or a new Toyota Supra. Play with your club card to earn entries, 5 times the entries on drawing days, and when the Milwaukee Brewers play at home. Got what it takes? Slugger, only at Potawatomi. For more details, visit paysbig.com/sportscar. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks snapped their 4-game losing skid with a 104-91 win over the NBA's best team, the Boston Celtics, at Fiserv Forum. A balanced scoring effort as 6 Milwaukee players hit double figures, including all 5 starters, led by Patrick Beverley's 20 points and 10 rebounds. The victory came with a cost, though, as Giannis suffered a left calf strain in the third quarter and did not return. After the game, head coach Doc Rivers said the Greek Freak was in the process of getting an MRI to check both the calf and the Achilles, but gave no updates beyond that.
They're testing them for the calf, which obviously MRI. They'll check them both. We're just going to hope for the best.
The Bucks improved to 48-31 overall, wrap up their 5-game homestand tonight against the Orlando Magic.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Now's the time to make those big spring purchases at Fleet Farm. Husqvarna mowers, Minn Kota trollers, Goodyear tires. Fleet Rewards credit card members can enjoy special financing for 3 full years on qualifying purchases. So don't wait. There's never been a better time to get everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. 36-month special financing available on in-store purchases of $1,499 or more after discounts made with your Fleet Rewards credit card. Now through May 1st, 2024. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See customer service for details.
Get the best of both worlds when you visit X Golf at American Family Field. Hi, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and On the Tee. I love golf. I love baseball. And if you're like me, Brewers game days are the best when they're at X Golf. Book a simulator, bring a group, enjoy the great food and beverage options, and get a unique view of the game. Right now, you can head to brewers.com/tickets and get both sim time and game tickets. Plus, hit a hole-in-one at X Golf and Fan Field any day of the year, and you and a buddy can take a trip down Bernie's Slide. X Golf and fanfield.com.
Multiple sclerosis is an unpredictable, often disabling disease of the central nervous system. We need to show support to people with MS, and one way is through Walk MS, which is brand new in 2024. We embrace and are committed to bringing our entire MS community together, representative of all the various dimensions of our community, so that everyone feels at home and supported by the National MS Society. The excitement is building for the new Walk MS. Come see the community come together like never before. Visit walkms.org today and plan to join us around Wisconsin.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft Greystone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft Greystone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The NFL's highest graded quarterbacks last season. And now we have to be fair to Jordan Love. His numbers in the final 8 or 9 games, obviously, if we only graded him for those, they would be higher, right?
Sure.
But at this point, that's not how it works. So the final grades, his number, 12th. But I don't think either one of us think he belongs at 12th after what we saw during the second half of last season. Agreed?
So my question with this yes or no sir game that we're going to play.
Yeah, very excited for this.
Is April 15th, tax day, opening day of most NFL offseason programs. Who do you want?
So you want me to ask this phrased in the form of...
I want Jesse to ask, and I want us both to say yes or no.
But he doesn't have the rundown.
He doesn't need a rundown.
He does.
He has quarterbacks.
There are right.
Who does?
I do. 11 quarterbacks that finished ahead of him in the grades.
All right, well, you know what? Jesse will give more of an opinion on this anyway. So, okay, Jason, you ask.
Thank you.
And Jesse and I will say, would I rather have such and such? Because I think you can make a argument. I don't think anybody's going to persuade me off of saying he's definitely top 10. 100%.
I agree.
Now, you start getting into 5, 6, 7, I think that's where it can get a little dicey.
All right.
Okay.
So do we have any special yes sir, no sir?
Yep.
Music.
Producer Tausch stopped by the studio earlier this week, and he put this together for when the time would need it, and here we are.
All right. Here are the 11 quarterbacks that finished ahead of Jordan Love in Pro Football Focus's quarterbacking grades for the 2023 season.
And Jason, just so people understand why we're doing this. Matt Bowen said he's top 10, right? That's where Matt Bowen kind of has 10, lined up. I believe it's better than that. So Jason will ask yes or no, right? I'm actually curious how you're going to ask this so I can know my...
All right. At number 11, would you rather have Justin Herbert?
No, sir.
Wait, no, that's not how you're supposed to say that, I thought. I thought it was, no, sir!
He's warming up.
And
He's warming up.
No, sir.
Okay. Jesse?
No, sir. Hasn't won enough in the NFL.
All right. At number 10, would you rather have Jared Goff?
Oh, no, sir.
Oh, he is warming up.
Yep. No, sir. I would rather have Jordan Love. I think
At
long-term
number
it'll be
9,
better.
would you rather have Kirk Cousins?
Oh, no, sir.
No, sir.
No Achilles. Big cash. No.
Too old.
No, sir, indeed.
At number 8, would you rather have Jalen Hurts?
No, sir. No.
No, sir, because I was very accurate with my prediction at the start of last season that the Eagles would regress, you may recall.
Yes, sir. I would have predicted he would do that.
Jordan Love and the Packers alive in Super Bowl contention longer than the Eagles were last year. Great prediction by me.
Number 7, would you rather have...
Big victory left guy.
Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh, no, sir. And I think the Dolphins would happily take Jordan Love over Tua right now. That's why I don't think they want to pay him. I think the Packers are more than happy to pay Jordan Love. So it's a big fat no, sir.
No, sir. Jordan Love has more playoff success than Tua Tagovailoa.
All right. Number 6 in the quarterbacks who were graded higher than Jordan Love for the full 2023 season by Pro Football Focus. Number 6, would you rather have Brock Purdy?
No, sir. No. I have been a big skeptic. I've been a big skeptic of Brock. I would love to see how Brock did if he was in Chicago with Justin Fields' deal, or if he had to go to Pittsburgh. Kyle Shanahan with that group, pretty good. I also watched a couple games last year when there was no Trent Williams, there was no Debo, and there was no, I think McCaffrey missed a game. And I watched that team struggle in a big way. So, yeah, I think Purdy is a solid quarterback. He's one of those guys, and I think it was Harry Douglas this morning, say if you're going to go big with your quarterback and pay big dollars, it can't be that you can win with him. You win because of him.
No, that's a good line.
Brock Brock Purdy ain't going to be that.
Do we have to at least acknowledge to some degree then, if you're going to say that about Brock Purdy, and I would rather have Jordan Love too, and it's not close. But do we also have to then acknowledge that Matt LaFleur and his offensive scheme, that maybe that makes a difference for Jordan Love for being as good as he was last year, just like Brock Purdy benefits from having Kyle Shanahan?
No.
Not at all? Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
How about all you talked about last? No. Do I have to answer no 50 times before you believe me? I said no 3 times, and you keep saying
no.
Not at all.
No, sir.
Not at all. Not at all. So
don't be mean.
I think Kyle Shanahan, obviously, his resume is bigger and greater than Matt LaFleur's. He is renowned. I think Matt LaFleur is earning it. He's getting more credence because of last season. Now he's got to bring it again. But all we talked about last offseason was they don't got any wideouts. Nobody's got any experience. They got no tight ends.
Okay.
All they have is Aaron Jones. So,
second half, it looked like they were in pretty good sync.
That comp,
no, I'm not.
To try
it's
and make that comp with Christian
you
McCaffrey
didn't listen
and Debo
again.
And Brandon Ayuk.
You didn't listen again. That's not even what I asked. I didn't ask about the talent. I asked about the scheme and the coach. But again, you didn't
Jason,
like what I
question.
heard. Let's get to the
Quick
other
question.
5 quarterbacks.
Do coaches' schemes look a lot better when you have studs all over the place? Just a quick question.
Yes, sir. They do.
Thank you. Okay, that's interesting.
You're such a...
Who had more established studs last season? Who had it?
San Francisco.
That was not my question.
There you go.
And you don't seem to care. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to push the top 5 into the final segment of the 11 o'clock hour. We'll play trivia in the 11 o'clock hour
End of
instead.
show trivia?
No, definitely not. I'm not putting myself in that position. No, sir! So the second half of No, Sir, in which Tausch will ignore me not asking about the talent and the players, but about the scheme and not answering it, saying, no, sir, I'm not going to answer it. We'll have to wait.
I did answer it.
You
I
didn't.
said it doesn't.
You talked about the talent. Yeah.
You didn't like the answer. You didn't like
You didn't like what I heard. What I'd like to hear is about Kohler's services, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of bad bathrooms. A lot of bad bathrooms. Over at the Coliseum, oh, my God, disgusting. Some of the hotels, the management of how they built their bathrooms, what the hell are they doing? Need to call Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business, 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, pay 0% interest for 12 months, and you get a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation, always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Yes, sir, no, sir. The top 5 quarterbacks ranked ahead of Jordan Love by Pro Football Focus from last season. We'll get to him next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. He's the most interesting man in sports radio.
Well, should I have a chip on my shoulder that I'm not making as much money as Skip Bayless?
In his mind, anyway. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
When you say they gave it away, what's at the top of your list?
Get them off the field on third down.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6. Right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my favorite go-to drink. That's Carbless. Carbless is a ready-to-drink, handcrafted vodka and tequila cocktail. Even better, it's 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. And listen to this, less carbonation. This leads to less bloat. I can indulge in something delicious without having that health guilt. Carbless is crafted right here in Wisconsin. It has a flavor for everyone, from black raspberry to cranberry, pineapple and lemon, and my favorite, margarita. Find Carbless online and at a retailer near you. Less is more.
It's our lowest prices of the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, shop unbeatable deals on the things you need for spring. Like 20-pound bags of BioAdvanced 24-hour grub killer granules, $27.99 after sale and $10 mail-in rebate. Get our lowest price of the season on Fast Orange hand cleaner with pumice, $10.49 a gallon. And save $2 on CRC Pro Series brake parts cleaner, just $6.99. Don't miss our lowest prices of the season in-store or online at farmandfleet.com.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your Higher Love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at Find Higher Love.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. It's 2024 and an election year. The politicians are out there promising things they won't deliver. One thing is certain. Taxes are what pays for those promises. The IRS collects those taxes, and man, can they be brutal. My latest book has advice on what to do to avoid trouble with the IRS. We help you file back tax returns, get liens released, set up payment plans, represent you in audits, and get penalties reduced or eliminated. Some recent clients we helped include getting a $40,000 tax bill reduced by $32,000, filing a 2020 tax return to get a $7,000 refund, and negotiating a payment plan for $250 a month on a $30,000 tax bill. Make the right choice. Go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or in-person meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 players' stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You can win now up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, and baseball entries today. Prize Picks even offers injury insurance so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and doesn't return in the second, Prize Picks will have your back and not count that as a loss. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions and special offers for the biggest moments in sports. Download the app today and use code WI for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's code WI on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Go see the world cause it's all so brand new. Don't close your eyes cause your future's ready to shine. It's just a matter of time before we learn how to fly. Welcome to the rhythm of the night. There's something in the air you can't deny.
Finishing up, yes sir, and no sir. The final 5 highest graded quarterbacks from Pro Football Focus last year. Jordan Love finished 12th.
Yeah, the problem with this is one of the guys isn't even going to be on the list that I would put ahead of Jordan Love right now.
Okay, well, I'd like to finish the list, and then you can say who that is.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Number 5, would you rather have Matthew Stafford?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
Too old.
This is. We have yet to have a yes, sir, just for the record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Number 4, Dak Prescott. Would you rather have Dak Prescott?
Sir. No, and you know what? The Dallas Cowboys wouldn't either. They saw what Jordan did to them in Dallas. Dak is a really good quarterback, and you can make a really good argument to me to say yes.
But
and you could
disagree.
say you're being a homer. This would be the first one that you could tell me, "Oh, T, you're being a homer," and
okay.
I could say, "Okay, I understand." But Dak cannot and has not won in the playoffs. He has been paid a ton and is leaving the Dallas Cowboys in a really tough spot where they can't do jack. when it comes to their offseason because the Cowboys screwed up, and why I want to make sure the Packers get this done so they're not in Dak Prescott country in a couple years. So, no. I'm saying no, sir, and I feel really good about my no, sir.
Jesse, you agree?
I don't put the Cowboys' shortcomings in the playoffs on Dak Prescott. I think
Darnell Savage did.
Well, and there have been a couple of bad moments, but I don't think you can look at the entirety of their playoff losses and say he has underperformed in the postseason.
San Francisco beat him around pretty good.
They more than once. They beat him around a couple of times. Yes, but San Francisco's beaten most teams around in the postseason, including
the Super Bowl they have.
The Green Bay Packers.
Much in the Super Bowl.
They beat the Packers in the playoffs last year.
He's in a mood, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing that they didn't, Jesse. They won. Fair enough.
All right. Like Tausch, I'm going to say no, sir.
But you acknowledge the chance that you could be debated
Jason,
on the subject.
this is the first one that I think is really intriguing.
I'm no
Jason
sir.
Wilde.
I'm a no
You're
sir.
You're saying no sir.
No, I'd rather have love. I would.
Okay.
All right. Now, we're up to the top three.
Wow.
11:03. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Would you rather have Lamar Jackson?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At this point, I would.
Well, wait a minute. If we're talking about playoff success.
Yeah, I'm going with Lamar Jackson as we sit here right now. Can that change? But Lamar Jackson's a 2-time MVP, brother.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time MVP.
Yep.
He is asked to do a lot.
Indeed.
A lot. And I don't know what the hell their offensive coordinator was thinking last year in that playoff game. Run the football and you beat the Chiefs. They decided not to, and here we go.
Indeed.
So while I don't think it's a no-brainer that this is the case, I'm taking Lamar Jackson over Jordan Love.
Or subject to change. We could feel differently
not right now.
this time next year.
Yeah, April 15th, 2020, tax day.
No blank.
Yeah,
no blank.
Stop no blanking me.
Tax day.
Jesse,
Stop.
Yes, sir, or no,
Stop
sir?
bringing up no blanket situations.
In fact, I want to go back because of...
Go blank yourself.
We're picking right now April 15th to go win. I want Dak Prescott and I want Lamar Jackson over Jordan Love. I'm going to say yes, sir, to both of them on April 15th.
Interesting.
But 1 year later might be different for both.
Well, you've changed your answer on Dak.
Yeah.
All right. We're now to the top 2. I believe these will be, yes, sir, but maybe not. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Would you rather have Patrick Mahomes than Jordan Love?
I think you'd be insane to not take Patrick Mahomes at this point.
Okay. I think this one is also a yes, sir, but it's not as definitive for me as Patrick Mahomes is. The number 1 rated quarterback, according to Pro Football Focus, for the 2023 NFL season was Josh Allen. Would you rather have Josh Allen? Yes, sir, or no, sir?
Yes, sir, for sure. I think Josh Allen, it's not even a question.
The turnover part does not deter you.
Yeah, I don't like that. Obviously, that's a concern, but he's a special talent. The Bills need him. He is that guy.
Yeah.
He is him.
I'm surprised he's ranked number 1, but there's also a reason that the Bills are comfortable with all of their wide receivers leaving because they're building around him to elevate the rest of the roster. So that shows me that, yes, sir, I'd rather have him.
I agree, but it's closer on that one than it is on Patrick Mahomes for me.
So
all
right now, the only other guy that I put in the mix and where I put Jordan Love is at 5.
4 to 5.
I put Joe Burrow at 4. I put Joe Burrow 4.
Right.
And questions about him being able to stay healthy. But I have Jordan Love at number 5 right now.
I can't refute that. I can't do it. I didn't think it was very nice how you just have you're anti-Brock Purdy. You and Nick Saban.
Jason, I give him a ton of credit. He stepped into a tough spot. He busts his elbow up. He comes back. He led his team to a Super Bowl again. But let's see him do it when it's not all just sitting there cookie cutter. Here you go. I watched how that played when it wasn't cookie cutter. And you know what happened? Those boys were eating gruel. They weren't eating no cookies.
Mush. No, sir. All right, we have finished that exercise. We will kick off the 11 o'clock hour.
3 straight losses. Offense stunk.
It will include...
Couldn't beat anybody.
It will include trivia and a little Bucks talk, in fact, even during the 11 o'clock hour scheduled to occur. We'll get to that coming up. I want to remind you, speaking of the Bucks, saw David Gruber was at the game. Was at the game again last night, and when the Bucks beat the Orlando Magic, Gruber Law Offices is an official partner of the Bucks and they're official partner of Wilde and Tausch. And we're happy to have them on board. If you ever need legal advice, if you've been injured, 414-276-6666. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Go to gruber-law.com to find out more. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Experience elite orthopedic care at OAW. Their skilled teams in Pewaukee, Brookfield, and Mukwonago offer tailored treatment for your needs.
The Bucks snapped their 4-game losing skid with a 104-91 win over the NBA's best team, the Boston Celtics, at Fiserv Forum. A balanced scoring effort as 6 Milwaukee players hit double figures, including all 5 starters, led by Patrick Beverley's 20 points and 10 rebounds. The victory came with a cost, though, as Giannis suffered a left calf strain in the third quarter and did not return. After the game, head coach Doc Rivers said the Greek Freak was in the process of getting an MRI to check both the calf and the Achilles, but gave no updates beyond that.
They're testing them for the calf, which obviously MRI. They'll check them both. We're just going to hope for the best.
The 48-31 Bucks wrap up their 5-game homestand tonight against the Orlando Magic.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Book your appointment today at orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Some trivia coming up next in the 11 o'clock hour. But, and I know we don't have Eric Name today. We don't have Justin Garcia, but we have a Bucks expert. We have an NBA guy. Mark Tauscher. Just ask him. He'll tell you. He's an NBA guy. He knows the NBA.
Well, listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I can break every team's offensive sets down.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as storylines and like what's going on, yeah, I feel fairly confident I can speak pretty intelligently on what's going on. Absolutely.
So, Bobby Portis leading the Giannis-less Bucks to a win, much needed, over Orlando last night at Fiserv Forum. They have 2 games left, as you heard if you were listening on ESPN Madison to Jesse's Sports Center. They've got 2 road games left, at Oklahoma City and at Orlando. They can sew up the number 2 seed in spite of their loss of Giannis to a left calf strain.
Where is Philly right now? What's Philly's ranked right now? Are they 6th or
they are
7th?
7th right now.
Which means they have to play in the play-in tournament.
Oh, boy.
So if it ended now, you would get the Bulls and Hawks playing an elimination game. The Sixers and the Heat would play for the 7 seed. Arguably the two teams that have... The Sixers are the team you don't want to face this year, and the Heat have been the team the Bucks never want to face because of how that's gone.
I don't want
to
play the Heat either. So then whoever wins that is the 7.
Right.
Then whoever loses plays the winner of the Bulls and the Hawks.
And if they lose that, they're out, despite being in 7-8 game.
And it's gonna if the Sixers are, it's gonna be the Heat playing in that game to be the 7th seed. The Heat are gonna play in that game no matter what. And then it's going to be either the Sixers or the Pacers, it looks like right now. Maybe the Magic based on the logjam.
So just so you know, the logjam that Jesse refers to, as of now, Celtics have locked up the one. The Bucks have a 1.5 game lead on the Knicks for the 2nd spot. The Knicks are 3rd. The Cavs are 4th. But the Cavs are just a half game back of the Knicks. 1 game back in the loss column, as we like to say around here. And then the Magic and the Pacers have the same record, 46 and 34.
Jesse, you're good. There's that win column. Thank you. Was that Marcus Aurelius again? Is that who built that bad boy?
It's Marcus Johnson, actually.
So, realistically, if Milwaukee wins 1 game, they're going to be in the 2 spot. Right? Is that kind of how this shakes out? Or
their next win would make them 50, get them to 50 wins. 50 wins.
As long as they don't fall apart or another team right behind them doesn't get real hot in the final few games here, they will be the 2 seed.
There's only 2 games. There's only 2 games left.
And I don't know if everyone else has 2
really hot.
I don't know if the other teams have 2 or 3 left, so it's like maybe the Knicks could make up an extra game.
The Knicks have 3 left.
There you go. See? Win column.
Well, I get smoking hot. Win 3.
The Cavs have 2 left. The Magic and Pacers also have 2 left.
When you shake this thing out, I think Milwaukee would be best suited. If it's a 3 spot and you don't play Philly, I'm on board. Even though you might have to play the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
Halliburton has started to struggle. He was an emerging star, and he's fallen off. So with Embiid being back and healthy, it's a scary proposition, and especially with Giannis's health being a complete question mark. I don't know if we can beat Philly without Giannis. I'm not sure we can beat Philly with Giannis.
Correct.
So
I was just going to say that.
I think the Milwaukee Bucks, and you're never going to throw games, and you're not going to plot. But I think if you end up seeing that Philly, and with the unknown of how Philly ends up playing with Miami, I think Milwaukee would feel probably best sitting at that 3 spot, either playing the Pacers or the Magic in that first round.
Even though the Pacers had their number this season, it appears?
They have. Yeah, but there's just something. There's something that I feel better about playing the Pacers than I would the Heat and or the Philadelphia 76ers. So if you know that that's where you're at, I think you kind of figure out a way, manipulate, and try to get in that 3 spot and let it rip.
Yeah, I don't think they're in position to do a whole lot of manipulating. I guess you can lose the next 2 games and not play anybody, but as dysfunctional as they had been, and now they probably need these games to try and figure out what's going to work best if we don't have Giannis for our opening series of the playoffs, right? So I don't think they're in position to do that. I think they're going to play. They're going to win 1 or both of these games and lock in the 2 seed, and then hope to God that their guy can be back at some point during their opening series, or that they can win that opening series and then he can be back for the second round series. But it's not suboptimal to say the least. All right, we're going to play trivia. Jesse, are you on board with Tausch's theory?
Part of me wants Miami, if that's doable. If Miami could beat the Sixers, because I know the Bucks would get up for that series after last year, similarly to what they did in 21 after Miami beat them in the bubble. And I don't think they would get got by the Heat again this year. So if there was a way to be the 2 seed and then know you're going to get Miami instead of Philadelphia, like the fact that that's a chance based on a 1-game situation, I think you just get the 2 seed, and I'm good rolling with it that way.
Your hopes have not changed, though, either of you. You still are skeptics on what this team can accomplish.
Yeah, the fact that every team in the Eastern Conference that we're saying could be a first-round playoff matchup is, that one could be interesting. That one could be interesting. Like, the only one
I like
is
Orlando.
Yeah, that's the only one.
I like playing Orlando. Yeah.
But that leaves, five other teams that you're like, okay, like that could get a little dicey.
I'm going to say this. This will sound crazy. Orlando, and then let's go against Boston. I think the Bucks should be chomping to get another look at Boston. I don't know if it's we're up for that game or if Boston is just not taking it serious, but the Bucks have matched up well with the Boston Celtics this year.
See, and that's I'm saying get Philly and Boston in the first round so they wear each other down. Someone gets eliminated there. Bucks are the 2, play Miami. We're in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
How do we
It'll
like
all
this
play
play-in stuff? I love it. I think this has been genius.
Yeah, do you watch it? You watch the play-in games? Do you?
Not really, but I just love the concept
I love it.
of it.
Oh, I love it, though. I love it.
No, I love the concept of what it is.
It's a fun wrinkle. Yeah, I've enjoyed it the last couple of years.
Yeah, but you don't have any. You're not interested enough in it to watch it, though, right?
If the Bucks were in it, I'd watch it.
I watched last year. Yeah, Chicago, Toronto.
No, so if Golden State's playing the Lakers, I'm going to watch. I'll be intrigued.
Yeah.
But
these guys like LeBron crying about if y'all didn't have a play-in, you wouldn't be in the playoffs, LBJ. So stop crying, suck it up, Buttercup, and go do your thing.
LBJ.
His playing's not fair. Oh, wow.
When did he say that?
Last year. He is not an advocate of the play-in.
And then they made the conference finals, and you haven't heard him say anything this year.
That's an interesting deal. Makes you think.
All right. We'll talk more about the NBA some other day. We need to get to trivia. Jesse, what's today's category, and which caller would you like?
It was all in the theme since we were going to talk Bucks. Then I was going to say, let's talk Brewers. They're playing the Reds this afternoon.
What if the NFL... Hold up a second. Boy. When the NFL goes to 18 weeks, which they're going to do...
They're going to
shove...
Playoff game?
The last week is a completely unscheduled deal. And what you do is you leave it wide open. And you match up the teams that stink with the draft. You let them play each other for whoever wins gets the higher draft pick. So you have teams that stink all year and are tanking. You got to bring the goods to win. Week 18 is Natasha Bedingfield. Completely unwritten. And if you have teams in the 7-8 spot, you let the 7-8 spot teams play each other in a pseudo playoff game in Week 18.
So... what if the Jets are in the 7 seed and they have clinched a playoff berth by being 2 games ahead of the Browns, and who are in the 8th spot? You don't play
that game. It's only in meaning. You set the most meaningful matchups you can, knowing there's going to be some dudders.
He hasn't fleshed this out.
There's going to be some dudders.
He's warming
up. It's a fun concept. But it also gives you that draft.
All right, stop. Wait, hold on. Because this part is really good. You've brought up a variation of this. If you listen to this show throughout its history, which is a long history now. We're coming up on anniversary number 8 in August. But you've brought up the concept of some sort of late season matchup then where you have to actually try to win to get the better draft pick.
Yeah.
I loved it then. I love it now. I am curious, though. You know, we talk about how players don't tank, right? Teams tank, but players don't because they're on film. They're going to play hard because they don't want to lose their jobs. So now you add this wrinkle. Players also, you want them to play harder so they can help the team get a better draft pick to potentially replace them?
Players are going to go play. Players going to play.
And a player's gonna play. Yes, I got the reference. Nice work.
And haters will hate.
They're gonna hate.
Hate.
Yeah. Nice.
Jason, they're going to go to. We all agree there's going to get an 18th game.
Yes.
These guys will
not
jam
till
it
like
down
2030, but yes.
So when that happens, leave Week 18 as a complete blank slate, and it's like that bubble busting weekend that NCAA tournament did. You get to select the matchups that will have draft implications. And there's still going to be teams that won't have it because they've earned it, and they can rest their guys. So it gives you everything you're looking for.
You're an idea, man.
So
you thrive on enthusiasm.
So the Packers are going to play 9 road games and 8 home games, and then they're supposed to have a home game
it'd be 18
for the
weeks.
final game.
You're gonna get, and if it's a
and play all the games in Brazil.
All neutral site games week 18 too. Yeah,
Germany. This is Podna. It's a great idea. I'm totally on board with it. I think you need to flush it a little bit to figure out exactly the logistics of it. But maybe we can revisit that tomorrow at Buck and Honey's as we get ready for the Packers tailgate tour stop in Sun Prairie. Jesse,
could you imagine the Commanders and Carolina having to battle? And Carolina's sitting there like, well, what are we going to do? It's the Bears' pick. It's just
playing for the Caleb Williams pick is what
there's so much intrigue and drama that gets brought into this Week 18 when Week 18 or Week 17, as we sit here now, can kind of be fuddy-duddy.
Fuddy-duddy.
That's not the proper use of fuddy-duddy.
No, it's not. All right, so Jesse, what is we talked NBA, then we suddenly changed how the NFL season ends.
Yep.
What was the lead into this trivia again?
The Brewers were supposed to play the Reds, but they got rained out today, so this makes a lot less sense. But the category is seeing red about things that are red.
Okay. Caller 10-844-770. Red Batty retired. Red Batty
different
retired.
Alerts about
red.
OJ on my phone. 15 different alerts about OJ.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't think it was breaking news.
No.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't want to argue. I don't. I'm not going to. I didn't say it wasn't breaking news. Also, you didn't say he died when you started to break the news. You said, what are we going to do about this OJ thing? Apparently talk about it. Caller 10-844-770-3776, 844-770-3776, caller 10 to play trivia. What are we going to do about you getting your best night's sleep? Well, how about starting with a new mattress from Steinhafels? We just got one. It's great. You can get your Tempur-Pedic Queen mattress, and it starts at just $52 a month with Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, you get $300 in Steinhafels cash, and you can upgrade your sleep with the Tempur-Pedic Ergo Smart Base powered by Sleep Tracker AI. This base will automatically respond to your snoring by raising your head, giving you a better, more restful night's sleep. So get the Ergo Smart Base and the mattress for only $94 a month with Steinhafels 60-month financing. You shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. In season, off season, draft season. Whatever season it is, we are Milwaukee's place to talk green and gold. Listen, watch, or stream live whenever, wherever. 94.5 ESPN.
What is dedication?
People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike and you didn't? I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Each day there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely, and you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back, but it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Beautify your entertainment space with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hi, this is Gina Della from Pella. Turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months if you book before April 30th. Take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate, when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at Discount Liquor.
Baseball and tailgating. Two of Wisconsin's traditions are back. Have you made a game plan? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. For over 60 years, we've been part of the starting lineup that makes your tailgate an experience. With over 2,000 varieties of beer, 4,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines, we're your pre-game headquarters. It's not a game without a tailgate, and it's not a tailgate without a stop at Discount Liquor, where we literally have everything you need to get back to your baseball traditions. So before you head to the ballpark, head to Discount Liquor. 2 area locations, in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
Discount Liquor.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here, and there is one thing I think everyone can agree on. Potholes stink. And this year's weather will make it one of the worst years yet. Well, Johnson & Sons Paving is ready to take on the challenge with a team that has over 2 decades of experience. When the potholes pop up in your asphalt, Johnson & Sons Paving can patch or replace the whole area. Book an appointment now at johnsonsonspaving.com. Get that appointment booked before May 31st, and you might even see Old T on the job site for a visit. Find full contest details at ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
I'm wild and free. When I close my eyes, I can see you in my sweatshirt, dancing around that college bar. These days I don't know where you are, but I get to keep these memories forever. Oh,
So I realize we've reached the point now with Seinfeld where maybe if you were too young for the first go-round, you're seeing it in syndication or streaming or whatever else. But is the new hello la la la? Is it because there may be someone in our house, you may have seen her sitting on Elmo's lap during some point during today's show, who finds the annoying. And I can't say I blame her.
Oh, is she listening to the show?
Well, she's down here. She's getting some stuff done, so she's hearing this side of it.
Yeah, but I mean, she's
more
hearing
than
your side of it. She's not hearing our side of it.
So you're saying that you think your yes, sir would be more enjoyable to her than mine?
Oh, for sure.
Yes, for sure. Yes, sir. All right, let's play trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant, and yes, sir, it's a first-time contestant. It is Mike in Sturtevant. Mike, good morning. Welcome to trivia. How you doing?
Hello.
Does Mike know his Seinfeld?
Did you say
yes, sir?
Did you say Sturtevant?
Yes, sir.
Sturtevant. Yes. Sturtevant.
There's a nice Wisconsin geography for you.
It is?
Yeah, do we know where that is, Jason?
Is it close to Slinger?
No.
He's appalled.
Jesse?
Close to Butler?
Door County?
No, definitely not Door County.
I feel like I've been to Sturtevant. Is it
Kettle Moraine region?
Kenosha?
Racine, guys. It's the
Come on,
community
you
just
guys.
off 94. Just off 94 if you were heading to Racine.
I think I've golfed in Sturtevant.
For those of you who are wondering what happened there, Tausch didn't know where it was either, so he wanted to let us look like idiots. And he never chimed in because he didn't have to.
No, I was going to guess. I would have guessed Kenosha.
I'm sure you would have. Yes, yes, I'm sure.
Highway 20 and 94 before you hit Mars Cheese Castle. So there you go.
Ooh, now there is a good landmark. Well done. All right. Let's get to trivia now. Tausch, you have question number 1 for Mike in Sturtevant, which is not in Door County.
Released in 2012. Red was the 4th studio album released by which popular music artist? Is it Taylor Swift, Adele, or Joe D. Messina?
Oy, Chicky Mama. Red, yeah, not a music buff of any of those. So let's go with Adele.
Uh-oh.
You answered that question too quickly.
We're off to a rough start.
Jesse,
the answer.
What is Jody Messina supposed to be funny, or there's nothing funny about that?
She sings Heads Carolina, Tails Minnesota, or whatever that song is.
California.
I know, but what's funny about that?
Look, not every third answer for question 1 can be like an over-the-moon punchline. So sometimes we just throw in fun references, like Jody Messina. If you could have done better, I'm open to the feedback.
Taylor Swift.
We already went to the Big Linda well this week. We couldn't go back there.
We did. Taylor Swift, her 4th album was Red. You can, when you're not listening to Wilde and Tausch or ESPN Wisconsin, Sirius XM has turned Channel 13 into all Taylor Swift all the time. That's been very exciting in my house. All right, question 2, Mike, is this. Let's bounce back. Oh, boy. Described as a red furry on its Wikipedia page, Big Red is the mascot for the Hilltoppers sports teams at which of these universities? All right. Big Red Furry is the mascot for which school, which goes by the Hilltoppers? Is it Fresno State, Western Kentucky, or Rutgers?
Oy, Chicky Mama, another tough one.
Yeah. Tough
so
debut.
If we're going with Red, let's just go Rutgers.
The Rutgers are the Scarlet Knights. Fresno State is the Bulldogs. Western Kentucky is the Hilltoppers.
Sure, I'm just failing today. I'm seeing red on this one.
But you know where Sturtevant is, which puts you one up on us. All right, now we're going to count on question 3 to get you your.
Well, in fairness, these questions suck. Like, they're way too hard. There's nothing funny about them. Jesse mailed this trivia in, but we'll finish.
All right.
What was the original name of the Detroit Red Wings franchise when it was founded in 1926?
Oh, my gosh.
Is it the Detroit Cougars, the Detroit Falcons, or the Detroit Sharks?
Wow. I had no idea they weren't the Red Wings when they started.
I didn't either.
Exactly. So I'm assuming because we're Detroit, let's eliminate Sharks. We're just going process of elimination now. Because I've pretty much, I've pretty much, embarrassed my family name. So,
we never gave
Sharks.
In fairness, we never gave your last name, so you're still okay. You may have embarrassed all of us.
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah,
so
you have put a stain on Sturtevant, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. So we got Cougars or Falcons, and if we're going original, in Detroit, what are you going to see, a Cougar or a Falcon? Let's go with Falcons.
Makes a lot of sense. So the Red Wings, you would have thought maybe Wings after being the Falcons. But
Jesse said there's a lot of Cougars. Jesse goes on spring break up there. Said there's a lot of Cougars up there.
There you go.
Pretty impressive. Mike, you went 0 for 3.
He did it entertaining, though. He was entertaining with it.
You know what I feel like? I feel like we're on a car trip, and I'm in the back seat of the car, and the parents are asking the questions from the front seat. So, yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
All right. Well, you went 0 for 3. You still get 1 entry for being the 10th caller. Hey, you could shock the world tomorrow. Jesse's going to bring the cheese fry helmet to Buck and Honey's, and he's going to pull a winner, and it could be you with your 1 entry. Mike, this was really fun. The nice people of Sturtevant are still proud of you, I'm sure. Thanks for playing, buddy.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
That was a complete really abject failure of getting questions right. That was a really fun trivia.
Jesse, can you agree with me though? Like that was, I didn't feel like although I'll say this, you educated me. I did not know the Red Wings were not the Red Wings.
Didn't either. Yeah.
So I have to give you credit. And the third question should have some difficulty. But the fact there was nothing funny, like you thrive on that. Like you thrive on it.
He didn't know that Taylor Swift had an album called Red. Like, everybody knows that.
I don't know if Tausch knew that either.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have guessed it.
He guessed Rutgers was the Hilltoppers.
I would not have guessed. I would have gotten that, but I love college basketball during the tournament.
I've heard that. Not as much as the NBA.
Tier 1 Tyler did text in after yesterday's trivia, which you also slandered, and said, that's it, I'm on a probation. He will handle trivia next week.
Oh, nice.
So
wait a minute, all week?
Yeah, I got to finish out the week, but then next week, Tier 1 Tyler will take over trivia for all 5 days next week, and you'll see how good you had it once his questions come into play.
What are the chances Tier 1 Tyler pops over to Buck and Honey's with a case of bubbler tomorrow?
Probably pretty good.
Okay, Tyler. We like that. We like that.
The more or less projection of Tier 1 Tyler visits to Buck and Honey's tomorrow is 0.5. That's where Prize Picks has put it. You're putting it at more than 0.5 visits to Buck and Honey's.
We love Tyler. He's my favorite of Jesse's Tier 1 friends. Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Over 3 million active members, and all you do, pick more or less 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you just watch the winnings roll in, and Masters Week is so fun. Everything you could think of, scores, birdies, amen corner. You got all these different projections that you have, and, again, I'm not saying we're throwing a freebie at you. Johnny UFC with Justin Gaethje. Is that right, Jesse?
Like you've played.
Help me out.
Here's what I don't understand.
You my trivia. You're on your own to figure it out.
That's fair.
You play Prize Picks all the time. Why do you keep going back to this guy whose name you don't know?
Justin Gaethje. Because I usually don't do UFC. I don't usually dabble. But they're throwing you 0.5 strikes for Justin Gaethje. 0.5. It's typically stuff can happen. So I'm not saying it's
them anyway.
Guaranteed. But Justin Gaethje, so there's a square, there's an entry that should be good, and you dabble with that. You got NBA, you got hockey, you got baseball, it's all there. Just download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. It's code WI on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less, pick Gaethje. 0.5 strikes. It is going to be a fun one at Jason's favorite, the UFC, on Saturday night.
Right, we're just slightly ahead of the Masters. All right, I have never said this in the history of our show. I have been looking forward to Whoa Nelly all show long.
Wow.
Becca asked Jesse a question last night about us, and he didn't know the answer, but he hasn't told us what the question was. He will reveal it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Now on tap at the Delafield Brewhouse, Peanut Butter Porter. Rich and creamy peanut butter meets chocolate porter to create this unique brew. Get it now at Delafield Brewhouse in the heart of Lake Country. Drink ale, live lager. The Delafield Brewhouse.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
Right now, the prices of diamonds are probably the lowest we'll see in our lifetime.
Diamond prices are low, low, low. Here's why.
It was hard to meet new people during COVID.
When a person meets their soulmate, they usually get engaged about 39 months later.
People started dating again only about 36 months ago.
Most of the people who got engaged during COVID
or immediately after COVID
were already in a relationship before the COVID lockdown began.
The Wall Street Journal even published a story about all of this.
Low sales of engagement rings created a worldwide oversupply of diamonds.
But now, engagement ring sales are beginning to pick up again.
By the end of next spring, this temporary oversupply will be gone.
And diamond prices will start climbing like crazy.
If you ever wanted to own a big diamond, this is the year to do it.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
If you want to own a big diamond, the time is now.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, and the future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution of pain management that we've seen in decades. We're talking regenerative medicine. If you're tired of those achy joints, if you have joint pain that's keeping you from doing the things that you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, and drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking about natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. Dr. Scheinkup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get your relief with a needle, not a knife. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your Higher Love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at Find Higher Love.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
We're all going to find out together. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, so just for the record, this is not going to live up to the hype of Mel Kiper Jr.'s voicemail.
That really was so good, yeah, Jesse. That is an all-time tease, and you delivered huge.
Yeah,
we can't hold you
When
to that
is Jen
standard.
coming on with the report? Is that next week or is
so? She is under the weather.
Okay,
time to read up on the books.
I have not been. I've been on the program twice this week without her. Tuesday and this morning. Maybe she'll be back tomorrow, but otherwise we'll plan on her joining us next week.
So we're sitting at the dinner table last night, and Becca says something about we were having tacos, and she goes, "Yeah, this I think this is one of my favorite dishes." She grilled the tacos; they were extra delicious.
Delicious.
And then she said, "What are Jason and Tausch's favorite foods?"
Oh, great question.
And
this is a great question.
I said, I know what their favorite restaurants are. They've mentioned those a number of times. But as far as what is your favorite food, it's such a basic question, but I don't think we've ever discussed this in the years that I've been producing this show. I also don't, Becca's also like, well, how do you not know? I know my coworkers' favorite foods. I know my, siblings' favorite. I'm like, I don't know anybody's favorite food. So I don't know if this is something that's common knowledge that you know about people
is that a
you care about.
Question to people?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. I don't know anybody's favorite. I don't know my dad's favorite food. I have a guess, but I don't know for sure what he would answer that question as.
But I know he was an usher at Miller Park.
Yes, that we do know, yeah. So, guys, what's your favorite food?
God, the thing about that for me is, outside of mint, I really like everything. Now, if you're telling me that I only get to go out and have one thing, I'm getting sushi. I am going out and getting a great...
Really?
Yeah, sushi's my jam. I love sushi. I love a good chicken pad thai. I love a great bowl of chili. You could just
People
go
in
on
your car don't love a great bowl of chili.
Like a great piece of pizza, but if it's just one, I'm going and I'm getting some great sushi. That's my deal.
So this is going to shock you, Jesse.
But I'd love to go and get a scramble or two from
we get it. You like all food. We get it.
There's
not an easy question.
There's a series of jokes to be made there that none will be made by us. Now,
that's really nice of you.
I love a good slice of pizza. I mean, a perfectly Rustique up here in Green Bay, or the paper plain pizza that's in the 3rd Street Market Hall by the group of offices, one called That's All Studios at ESPN Milwaukee.
You'd be disappointed in Italian pizza.
I've heard that. Although my good friend Phil Aiello, who was in Italy at the same time, I'm surprised you guys didn't get together at the Coliseum, said that your description is inaccurate, that it is different than American pizza, but it's not bad. He did not think the pizza there was bad.
It's definitely edible. I wasn't saying it wasn't edible.
Not to be confused with your beef sandwich.
It's American pizza. That's all.
Yeah. I love a good pizza. I love a good sandwich. I love chicken. I would love to win Chicken for Life from Quick Trip, but I'm not eligible because it's our show. But in a shocking development, which I'm worried about this show. I'm not going to lie. I think we're in a great rhythm. Things are really good. But this whole finishing sentences thing, if I only got to choose one, I'm choosing sushi too.
Can I change my answer?
No,
wow.
and I really wish I had gotten to go first, because I would love to know if Tausch would have changed his answer to avoid being the same.
So what I've really loved, and there's more of these stores popping up. I have become a monster fan of great ramen. Ramen back in the old days, it's all you grab it, you throw it in a dorm room, get a little water, boom, dump, blah, blah. Now, I am a big fan of ramen. Well, I think if you season it up properly, put a good protein in there, a good ramen
do a whole bunch of add-ins, fix-ins.
Yeah, scallions
like a turtle sundae.
Kind of.
With that hard chocolate.
Okay. Why are you flipping me off?
I'm not. That's my pointer finger.
Looked like you were.
I'm confused. So there's like ramen noodle shops now?
Yeah.
Not like Noodles and Company.
In
like
ramen.
Ramen is I've never eaten ramen.
Okay.
What is it? It's a noodle, right? Like, isn't it just cheap pasta?
It's a broth. Yeah. Doesn't have to be cheap.
It's kind of like a soup because it's got a bunch of like extra stuff that gets thrown in for season and flavor and
noodle
vegetables.
Soup.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you're chucking a protein in there.
The broth is what really makes it, and I like a pork belly. That's a good thing.
A pork belly broth?
It makes the flavor in that much better. You get mushrooms and scallions and onions.
I don't like any of those things, so I guess I'm out on ramen. All right, we'll wrap things up. Ramen. Weird. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I cannot imagine that there's any way that he missed the game because he's unhappy that the game was on turf. I think that's preposterous to me.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30.
I thought they looked great. I got to be honest, I think that's what I kind of expected from the Packers.
Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Construction Business Group and Island Resort and Casino.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at lowtusa.com.
At some used car retailers like CarMax and Carvana, price is a bad word. You could pay thousands more for the same used car the Ewald Automotive Group sells. Shop over 600 live market priced used vehicles without worrying if you paid too much. Plus, we'll keep you on the road satisfaction guaranteed like we have for over 60 years. We make it easy because we service everything we sell.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group. I have some questions for you. Who does your books? Hopefully not you. There are better things for you to do in running your business. Do you trust the numbers? Good numbers are critical for making good decisions. Are you getting the advice you need to minimize your taxes and put more money in your pocket? A good advisor makes suggestions to help your business grow and minimize taxes, not just put numbers on a form. Do your calls get returned and your questions answered? Many of our new clients tell us they love our quick response time. We have helped countless businesses increase their profits and lower stress. Get the advice you want and need to grow your business and minimize taxes. If you want to get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, visit nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, nealgroup.net.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Do you have a car, boat, ATV, or motorcycle taking up space in storage or your garage? Homer here, asking you to consider donating it to Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a local faith-based nonprofit organization dedicated to inspiring and equipping at-risk youth and their families. They need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping troubled youths transform their lives. Visit rawhide.org/donate and learn how you can help today.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Birthday parties, anniversaries, or bachelor parties. You can count on the Brewers to host. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite spot at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Thanks to Matt Bowen. If you missed him, go back on YouTube or on Wisconsin On Demand. He was really insightful. I learned a lot from him. I also learned that ramen is not some sort of cheap, shrink-wrapped noodles that you just throw in a pot at home when you're a poor college student.
Both. It's versatile.
And I learned that OJ Simpson has died, which was breaking news here on Wilde and Tausch. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll